Hey, everybody, this is the Rockets Round Robin for the Houston Rockets podcast show. I got a bunch of guys here today. Let's jump right into the intro, baby. Hey, everybody. Hey, honestly, congratulate our boy AK for the new fire intro, by the way. That shit goes so hard, by the way.
I didn't even know it was going to hit like that, bro.
Hey, hard as hell. This is the Rockets Round Robin, where a bunch of the community members just kind of get together and talk Rockets ball. We got a lot to talk about today. We got a lot of people here with us today. As you know me, I'm Drip2Bs_JWD on Instagram and X. You can call me Preston, Drip, however you want to call me, guys. Let's start off with my boy Brian here from the TownRundown. He's also Sports Illustrated newest writer out over there, guys. Yeah, that's for sure. But go ahead, Ryan, man. What's good with you, and where can we find you?
Well, at Ryan Diamond 15 on Instagram, at Ryan Diamond 15 on Twitter, and you can find me on Rockets on Sports Illustrated now.
Yes, sir. Look at that.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a huge gig, man. More on that later for sure.
Yeah, it's part of the process. It's part of the plan, right?
Part of the plan. Then we got our boy James, by the way. Man, I've been dying to get him on the show. I was talking to him a little bit pre-pod, man. It's fantastic to finally talk to this boy. This man lives all the way yonder. Y'all thought I lived far for a Houston Rockets fan. This is our boy James. Thank you for joining us today, man. Where can we find you, and what's good?
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Much obliged. I'm at James PRC11 on Twitter. Site expert at spacecityscoop.com. Fan site, it's Houston Rockets page. And I co-host a podcast called The Franchise, where we talk about the Rockets. So once again, thanks for having me, dude. Much obliged.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. We love that, man. Hey, go plug yourselves in over there, man. The Franchise. That goes so hard, man. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
For sure. AK, man, brother, the man, the myth, the legend himself, the main man that put together the Rockets Round Robin, actually here, host of a lot of other things and Rockets propaganda. AK, what's good?
What's happening, everybody, man? It's your man's AK Infinity. Follow me on Twitter at AK Infinity_VVS. This is the Rockets Round Robin, and we finna get it rolling for a little bit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like I said, we got a lot to talk about today, man. I appreciate having you on today as well. And then we got our boy AP. He got from Clutch City Connect. He's one half of the podcast over there, man. What's good, AP?
What's going on, fellas? Make sure you follow us here at Rockets Red Robin. We also have that account on IG, so make sure y'all follow us there. Clutch City Connect. Follow your boy, me and Tyler. And, of course, you can also follow me on Instagram at KingBeard_23.
Right on, man. I love it. So, like I said, we got a lot to talk about today. I think the biggest thing we should talk about first, going forward, let's open up with something light. Let's talk about that Jalen Green leadership camp. Okay, now Ryan and I did break it down a lot on the show yesterday, but I want to get your guys' reactions. We overreacted hella, I won't even lie, but it was really fun doing it. Reed was looking great. Jalen Green was looking good. Jalen Green, he reignited my fuel for the Rockets community. I won't lie to you, man. Anytime we get Rockets ball, any offseason anything for Houston Rockets makes me feel great. But honestly, let's start with AK right away, man. Just plug it in. That leadership camp was crazy. A lot of videos came out of it, man. I want one overreaction take and then your general take from it.
All right. First of all, as much as it was exciting to watch, we got to remember, man, they had Jayshawn Tate looking like the second coming with them highlights. And we know that this was not the case.
Yeah, we know.
And Holiday looked like a beast. Anybody's highlights is going to look great. But I'm gonna say this: there are some small little details that I did pick up from the highlights. One of them being, it looked like Jalen's handle looks a lot more smooth. Like it looks a lot more smooth.
Yep.
He's getting to the rim a lot more effortlessly and with purpose. Like a lot of times he's just going and then he'll figure it out later. Like he looks like he's more decisive going to the rim, going to the rack. I mean, that's stemming from post All-Star up till now. That look like that's carried over, and he's improved upon that too. Not much to take away from Şengün's highlights because who was gonna guard him? Really? Who gonna guard him? What's he gonna do with that?
But who's gonna cross him?
We're gonna get to that later.
Hey.
Yeah, you about to be in trouble. You already finna get some death threats just by saying that comment right there. I hope you know that. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and probably get death threats too, because what I'm about to say. Yeah, what Jabari did to that man, he needs to be serving life in prison because that was not right.
Buy that man a steak, man. Some.
Made that man drop the soap.
25 to life for him. Whoa.
Made that man drop the soap, man. That was uncalled for. Jabari, you should really apologize to him, man. You need to send some money or something.
We need a public apology right now.
Yeah,
Yes.
bro, that was terrible. But now, a men's highlights was cool. I thought, man, have you seen his body? Like, he's in shape. Like, he's ready to play like a different position. Like, I know we brought him in to play a point guard position, but that boy looking like a power forward right now. Jabari got bigger too. Jabari got bigger.
Jabari's shoulders got out. Like, they got broader.
Yeah,
and, like,
if you
his
seen his
muscles
daddy, his daddy was big too, so Jabari was gonna fill out eventually. He just turned 21, so he'll be all right size wise. Was Reed Shepherd? We know where Reed Shepherd is, man. He's going to be. He probably ain't gonna get a whole lot of time at first, but he's gonna be fine. I don't have the slightest worry about him on offense. On defense, no story. On offense, I ain't worried about him at all. Cam. Cam might be the most exciting player on the team. I'm sorry. He might be the most exciting player on the team, but he's also probably, to me, he's also the most frustrating at the same time. Like, he's very on to both sides for me. And then, who am I missing? Tari didn't make it, but he makes me probably the most excited out of anybody just because I know what we look like when he's on the court, and I know what we look like when he's not on the court. So that's all I got for now, man. That's my general take.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say that's pretty spot on. That's a pretty good summary of it. Now, like you said, Jalen Green's handle looked a lot tighter. So hold that thought, and we're gonna come back to that later. I want to get go ahead.
I just want to piggyback off something AK said quickly. The first thing he mentioned was Jason Tate looking good. I understand its highlights, but could that be a problem in the Rockets' defense that he looked that good? Because Jason Tate should never be looking that good.
I think it's an open gym because I've never seen nobody miss in an open gym.
Who played defense besides
Alfred Şengün tried.
Well, yeah, Şengün did.
I love Şengün. He tried.
Everyone was a cone on defense, but Amen Thompson.
Hey, Reed Shepherd played defense.
He did.
Amen Thompson played a lot of really good on-ball defense as well.
Reed Shepherd played help defense off of Amen Thompson's on-ball defense. Reed Shepherd played help defense off of that. He didn't lock nobody up.
Yeah,
dudes were not there trying to get hurt.
I think I saw a steal on the block. Amen had, I think, two.
Yeah, and Amen was the person who held up. I forgot who it was. Who he held up. I think he held up Aaron Holiday. I think it was.
No, it had to have been Şengün, I think, or Jabari.
I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
I don't think it matters, but man, listen, ain't nobody watching no defensive highlights of an open gym, bro. Nobody's doing that.
Oh no, man, that's pretty important.
I'm gonna let that one go, man.
I mean, can you imagine locking up your teammates? I think if you're locking up your teammates in a free run, I think that says more about the offensive player than the defensive player.
The only reason you would do that is because you ain't got no offensive game at all.
Okay, y'all just did not see me try to be like not pro Jason Tate.
I'm not saying anything wrong about our glorious late bloomer Jason Tate. It's just,
Hey, you know what? He's a great trade piece. If he's blooming now, he's a great trade piece for us.
Phenomenal trade piece. I can't wait. Now, James Piercy, man, let's talk about it real quick. I'm interested. What's your take on the Jalen Green leadership thing? He kind of talked about the players and whatnot, but one thing I want to hear, I want to hear your general take from him. But I also want to know what your thoughts are on Jalen Green asking for the players to come out and do this.
Yeah, I love it, man. I mean, how can you not really? Like, I don't know, man. I was really high on Jalen for 2 years. Last year, I lost a little bit of hope, a little bit of faith. but there's still this little part of me, man, that's like, if this kid hits, it is going to be different than anybody else hitting. You know, like I still think that upside is there, even if maybe he's a little less likely to hit it, or he's not on pace to hit it compared to where he used to be. But I love the kid assuming a leadership role, because it tells me that he wants to hit that mark. And I think you can't question like his work ethic and his heart and all that stuff. So I love it. I think it's perfect for him to step up and handle that, man. One general takeaway from the camp that I'm going to add, and it's a little bit negative. AK knows that sometimes I end up leaning that way, right? But I've seen a lot of people get a little bit hyped about Amen Thompson hitting open threes. And to me, if anything, the form still looks bad. And I don't care how many in a row go in uncontested open jam. I still feel like that doesn't look like a very functional NBA jump shot to me, to be honest.
No, man. He looks uncomfortable.
And his jump shot is it's slow, too.
Really slow, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so if we had to now, we got to clown Amen for this real quick, because we clown everybody on the channel. Amen Thompson or Ben Simmons shooting three? Go.
Amen Thompson.
I would take Amen, yeah.
You know what's crazy? Ben Simmons has hit more than 5 threes in his career.
Amen Thompson's hit 1.
That's crazy.
That's
right? Is it 1? I think it is.
Nah, it's more than that. He hit way more than Ben Simmons.
Yeah, Ben's gonna pass that.
Yeah,
there's no way.
It's gonna be more than 1, I think, when I think about it.
It is.
But you know what
pull
the
it up
difference
right
is?
now. I got
Amen
it pulled
Thompson
up.
would never pass up a layup.
True.
Yeah.
True. That is true. Amen got that drive, though. Amen actually got that drive, you know what I'm saying? But that is very interesting. Yeah, the jump shot. I'm so glad you brought that up.
He made 8 threes this season.
Amen made 8 threes.
He made 8
I feel like I watched that man shoot 0 threes, guys.
On how many attempts, AK?
58.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
he didn't
that
shoot
sounds reasonable. That sounds reasonable.
The thing that gives me a little hope about Amen is at least he'll pull it.
Yeah, exactly.
Ben Simmons, he ain't even thinking about it.
Okay, so what is y'all's hope for Amen this season?
More of what he looked like as a starter. It just depends what position he plays. Like if he's gonna be, I don't think he's gonna end up being a point guard if we got Reed Shepherd. He's probably gonna end up just being a do-it-all wing.
I think so too.
He gonna do whatever. He gonna play 1 through 4, wherever he can be plugged and play.
Our team is so deep that it really is going to take us either this season or next season to really get it straight with our roster.
Yeah.
Figure out who's going to get minutes, who's going to play, who's going to be on the court. And so I don't really think that we're going to be seeing the Amen Thompson that we want to see until at least next season.
I think that's early too, though, to be honest. Because there's so much versatility on the squad. And there's for everybody's superpower, they got a super weakness. You know
I think for Amen to be like a point guard or an on-ball player, he's gonna have to like grab it. Like every time he gets the ball, he's gonna have to be able to make a play, and he's gonna have to like force the issue and prove like maybe I'm a point guard. You know what I mean? Otherwise, I think Ime is gonna keep putting him in that dunker spot, like roll man thing, which I'm perfectly cool with. But like I think that's how coach would prefer to use him. And if he wants to be used differently, he's gonna have to get it on merit. I think. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah, he can get up and get those rebounds and stuff too. So he ain't. I like that too.
You know who kind of reminds me of? He reminds me of Bubble Rob Covington for just a little bit. The reason why is because last season, watching him in the paint, getting those boards, it reminds me of what Covington was doing for us during the bubble.
He did get a lot of boards.
Covington was food on defense when he was on the ball, though.
Offensively, not defensively. Offensively.
Offensively, Covington could hit a 3. Like he had a jump shot.
He had a jump shot. You know, he could drive a little bit. You know,
everything I said about Amen Thompson being in the paint, grabbing boards like Covington, just flew out the window.
I mean, that's the only thing is the rebounding.
Still reminds me of Bubble Covington.
Oh my!
So his rebounding reminds you of Bubble Covington. All right.
Yes. Or Capella.
Hey, all right, AP man. Let's talk about this Jalen Green leadership training camp here. Now, what are your thoughts on it? What's your? I want your just general take on it. You know, and like, do you think it moves you at all? Like, does this training camp move you at all for Houston?
I think so. I mean, I think this is very good for Jalen Green, especially because he had that slow start last year, and the second half he picked it up. So I think this is really good for him to show the team like he's ready to ball with his new guys and stuff. And he's taking like that Fred VanVleet role this year. He wants to build more with his guys this year. And I really like that. That showed me a lot.
So more on that. Again, hold that thought real quick because I do want to come back to your comparison between Fred and Jalen, their leadership. Now, Ryan, like I said, we kind of talked about it here, but for the Rockets round robin, man, what was your general take?
All right, so my general take, I'm actually going to keep it a lot more real than I kept it yesterday because we're not doing overreactions anymore.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jalen Green's handle looks a lot tighter. It looks like he's attacking the rim in traffic as well, which I think is huge for us. But again, it's an open practice run.
Yep.
So it's going to take us a little bit of time. Like I said yesterday on the podcast, historically, we haven't been starting the seasons off well. So we're just going to have to see how we are towards the middle of the beginning. So once we're past those first 15, 20 games, then we can judge. But right now, I'm not going to judge too much based off of it.
15, 20 games that's a lot of games to wait. That's probably like 70% of the season.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think that will reach our peak. Like that's what I'm saying. I think that will reach what we want.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Okay, all right. So now I want to come back to what AP was saying real quick about the comparison between FVV and our boy GG. So you said the comparison there was the leadership role. Now, obviously, I think Fred, and people can disagree with me, but I think pretty openly, like Fred has been the leader, right? I mean, he's the point guard, right? But last year, he showed he had the initiative. He was out there. He was getting those rebounds. He was getting the assists. He was doing things that I'm not saying I expected Fred making $40 million to do, but he did every single thing we asked him to do last season without question, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I think, having someone out there like that that's going to be able to do those things. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think last year, didn't Fred do a training camp with the guys when he got signed with us, or like some sort of like little get together? Does that sound about right? Am I tripping?
Yeah, him and Jalen were together the first month or so. They were together working out.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So, I mean, right. It seems like he's taking aspiration for that. So now, I'm not saying that Fred is sliding back, but do you think Fred is going to delegate some of those leadership roles to Jalen? Or because I mean, we still have Alperen Sengun, right? Like we still got big boy LP out there. So is LP gonna feel different about Fred saying, "Hey, Jalen, yeah, you go be that leader," Because like you look at like every team, right? That is a championship caliber team. They have their defined leader, and their defined leader is their best player.
I completely disagree with that. Completely.
They're defined leader for a championship caliber team.
For a championship caliber team?
Yes. In the league right now.
Is Jalen Brown the leader of Boston, or is it Jason Tatum?
It's Tatum. Jalen Brown is not.
But Jalen Brown is their best player.
No,
he's not.
No,
he's not. Jalen Brown outperformed.
In my opinion,
Jalen Brown outperformed for sure. That finals,
I'm anti Jason Tatum. No, it was all playoffs. It was in the entire run. He outperformed.
Tatum went off the second round.
Yes, but throughout the entire playoffs,
like 2 games.
JB outperformed him.
So he had a playoff run better than Jason Tatum. That doesn't mean he's their best player.
Brown always comes through the playoffs, though.
I'm going to ask y'all this. How many finals MVPs does Steph Curry have? Knowing that he has 4 championships. How many finals MVPs? He has 1.
He got 1, baby!
Okay.
Oh, he should have 0.
That kills that argument right there, bro. Andre Iguodala got a finals MVP. KD got 2 of them. Steph damn near didn't even get the 1. They gave it to him just because they're like, nah, we can't do that to him.
KD deserved those 2. And I hate KD. I won't lie to you. I'm a KD hater. But KD deserved those 2.
Yes, and then we could argue the one where Draymond Green got himself kicked out. That finals where he got himself kicked out for ball kicking people.
16. Yeah.
He could have won the finals MVP over Steph because Steph wasn't even having a good finals. So let's.
I said the league right now, like last year. The year before, like within the last 4 years.
Within the last 4 years.
Within the last 4 years, the best player on every
Actually, no, hear me out.
leadership.
Hear me out. Luka is the best player on the Mavericks. However, I think Kyrie's probably the leader.
Kyrie is their leader, and
Probably a better
that's
leader.
unquestioned.
Kyrie is
Right.
their leader.
Kyrie's definitely the leader.
Yeah.
in that.
Kyrie,
Kyrie's
they
their
leader.
Yes,
I want that. I want that to be known across the world now. Kyrie is a leader on a team.
the players said it themselves.
Interesting.
The players will say it themselves.
They gotta
Luka
make
said it
they
himself.
gotta make their boys stand up and be like, yeah, they're the best.
Luka said it
man.
himself,
It's
bro.
player talk. Come on, man.
Luka said it himself. Ain't no player talk, nothing.
I will
Bro.
have to go back and find that clip, but that is interesting that Luka out here saying someone else is the leader than him. Because when I look at Luka, he's out there doing everything. The only thing Kyrie doing is usually finishing. Luka's doing everything else.
But look,
There's
All right, Luka doing everything else.
It's like how we define a leader, right?
Leader.
Like what does leader mean? It's kind of a related.
Okay,
Because
it's the person.
Does winning Finals
it's
MVP make you the leader of the team?
not necessarily, but it's the emotional tone setter to me.
and I think that's what Kyrie does
Yeah.
in the Mavericks.
Right, the emotional tone setter in Golden
Exactly.
I don't
State.
think
It's
Luka
always
does
been
it.
Draymond. It's always been Draymond and Iggy in Golden State. And what was another team, man? There was another example that outside of Boston, because it's Jalen Brown. He's not their best player, but he's their leader. Like, we can cut the crap on that. Like, we're not even gonna go there. What was another team, man? It was another team that I had in my mind that I cannot remember because it's always been the Lakers or the stupid. Hold on. Was for the Spurs dynasty. Tim Duncan was not necessarily their leader, bro.
I think he
Let's
was,
be
to be honest with you.
I don't think so.
I think he's a different style of leader.
I'm with James.
Finish what you're saying, James.
No, go ahead.
I think Duncan just took it upon himself to do everything Popovich wanted him to do and led by example in that way. And I think that the Spurs philosophy was like, we're not going to get into these kind of verbal altercations with dudes and stuff. Like, we just show up in our suits and we're professional and we get to work. You know what I mean? And I think Duncan was about that stuff. And I think he was a leader in a different way, not a raw guy, but like just the type of leader led by example is the best way I could put it.
Yes.
Love Tim Duncan, to be honest with you. I don't want to, but I do.
Yeah, I don't.
Same. I like Tim Duncan.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna say it out loud. And I'm gonna leave it at that. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay, so today's league, right? Your best player on the team.
Okay, wait, hold on.
He's your
Sorry,
leader.
Preston.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Wemby's the best player on the Spurs. Chris Paul's their leader.
Chris Paul is their leader now.
That's what we're talking about.
Who was their leader last year?
Did they have one last year?
They didn't
Yeah.
know that they had one.
It was Pop, right? But everyone looked to Wemby. This dude just came on average 20
On the court.
and 10.
This is
Keldon Johnson. They had
boy,
no-
if you don't stop. I like Keldon Johnson, but
No, I don't. He Rockets killer, bro. Get that man out the court, man. Good thing
Hey,
he gets to
man.
the court.
all these
Yeah,
Kentucky
Rockets killed
dudes,
it, too.
man. All these Kentucky dudes. I can't hate a Kentucky dude. I just can't.
I respect it. Either way. Generally speaking, does Jalen taking on this leadership role take away anything from Şengün? Is my question.
Absolutely not. It adds
No.
And to AP, leave him alone. Let him answer, AK.
Oh, my bad.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so? Nothing at all.
No.
You don't think he don't feel slighted at all. You don't think there's any animosity or anything like that. That Van Vliet, the $40 million guy, is taking more of a shine to him than Şengün.
No.
Interesting. Now, does this signal anything to the front office?
No.
Jalen again,
No,
just
I don't think so.
and then now signaling to the front office. I don't mean meaning that there's a difference between Jalen and Şengün there, but more or less just like, oh,
You know what?
despite
it's-
what the Rockets community has been saying about Jalen this whole time, and
Man, nobody
the
cares
reports
what
that
they be
we've-
saying.
the reports that we've released, Jalen is still out here doing his thing and trying to show he's part of the community. I just like does that move the
I
Rockets?
think that what
like,
it
front office
signals
at
to the
all?
front office is that the front office just did a really good job bringing us Fred VanVleet. I don't think it signals anything bad. I just think it signals that they brought in the player that they need to bring in to teach our team leadership.
For sure. No,
This
for
is the
sure.
best point guard for Jalen, I think. Out of everyone he's had, I think Fred's been the best one for him.
That's no contest.
Man,
You know,
his
John
only point
Wall
guard.
wasn't teaching these kids, man. That man was out here.
That's been his only point guard, like his only real point guard. What you gonna say? He had Jason Nick.
About who?
You forgot he had Kevin Porter
Next.
Jr., man.
Man ain't no point guard.
Oh,
No,
man.
no. Kevin
No,
Porter
but I
Jr.,
think-
he's a handballer. He's not a basketballer.
Wow.
We'll see what that man does
like
on the
that.
Clippers.
That sounds funny, but I think the whole Jalen thing, I think it signals more to the players than to the front office or anybody else. I think it signals to the players and it signals to the coaching staff.
All right, what's the same?
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling, man. The way I see it, man, the leader of the team, like I said, it sets the emotional standard for the team and how they're supposed to play. And how you know that is whether they're on the court or not, you can see how the team is playing. Just because that person is just, whether they're in the game or not, on the sideline, the street clothes or whatever, they're playing like that man. Like, we got to be accountable to that guy right there. For example, so Ime Udoka as the coach, right? He doesn't play, but you could tell the team took his personality, and then over some time, it took Fred and Dylan's personalities. Like, when them two was out, they still played hard. Sure, they didn't always play smart, but they still played hard. Like, I ain't trying to be grilled by these guys when we get back to the locker room. So so that has to transition to one of these young guys at some point, because it can't just be them two dudes for the rest of for this era. It just can't be. And Fred VanVleet was specifically brought in for Jalen Green. Let's not forget that. He was specifically brought in for Jalen Green to be his point guard and to teach him how to lead, which is why he took him under his wing immediately after signing that contract last year. So it took some time for it to, to get marinated a little bit, but I think we're starting to see the flavor, and we're gonna see how it tastes when we finish grilling.
So kind of what you're saying is that the math is mathing and everything is going the way it's supposed to. This is the course it's supposed to take.
Right. We wished it took a shorter amount of time. It didn't, but we got there. We're getting there. We can see we can see the destination, and we headed in the right direction. We ain't the destination isn't no further than it was last year. We getting closer. We getting there.
Bro,
right. We can only be grateful that we're not the Pistons.
Yeah, we ain't the Pistons. I do like
Ime's twice in the play-in tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, who would have thought we were going to do that last year?
We were this close.
No, we were closer than that, Preston.
We almost got to that.
This close.
Yeah, I had us at 38 wins last year. I was wrong. I'm happy to be wrong about that.
Once we hit 38, and there was still like 6 games left, right? Because we were over, right? Yeah, I think we still we had 5 games left, I think.
And then really, my bad, bro. But I kind of want to get this off, bro.
Yeah,
this is how we know that Jalen Green is going to be fine, bro. This is how we know. When everybody else went down, I ain't gonna say everybody else. When Şengün went down, I think who else was out? Somebody, I think Dylan was out for a little bit.
Dylan was out. Kyrie was out.
And everybody left us for dead, right? Jalen said, nah, screw all that. Let's get this playoffs. And we played like a team that people wouldn't want to. We played like a team that nobody wanted to play in the playoffs.
True.
For a long little time.
Went on a
good
big
stretch.
It was 15 games, 16 games that we.
Yes, and then we was in the thick of pressure. When you're under pressure, however you behave in that moment is who you are. You know the real mark of a man by how he behaves when he's finna die. When he know he's gonna die. That however he behave in that moment, that's him.
Okay.
The season was on the line for a little bit. Jalen came in, showed out. Didn't matter who we played. Didn't matter who was on the court. He just took that leadership mantle and said, we will not lose until we ended up losing. But that's not the point. He didn't play like we were going to lose. Like we tried to win.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the most pressure he's played under in his life.
True. Yeah.
So that to me is why I'm very bullish on him right now. And I think it's going to transfer over.
I hope AD is watching this right now. That was beautiful.
AD probably somewhere right now, punching the screen,
he probably
throwing his phone. He mad as hell right now.
That was beautiful. If there's moments that I'm going to clip from this, that for sure is exactly that. That was beautiful. You could not have put that in a better tone. Jalen is doing exactly what he was supposed to during that stretch, and more, to be honest, because at that point, up until around the trade deadline, people were ready to trade this dude for a bag of chips, right? A lot of people don't let the Rockets community fool you when they start rooting for him next season. They was cheesing. They was.
Them bookmark tweets is finna come out. I'm telling you.
I'm guilty of it. I won't lie. I would have traded him for Colin Sexton probably, before that stretch.
But here's the thing, though, James. You at least admit when he's doing good. There's a bunch of people who he's doing good, and they make an excuse. Nah, he's not. It's not really him. We ain't gonna call his name, but we know his initials.
Oh yeah, we do.
He a real clown. If you get my drift.
I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I do agree. Ryan, did you have something to add to that?
No, I'm just shocked he said Colin Sexton.
I was out. Honestly, it was a little bit like anger. I just hit a point last year. I was like, this kid, man, like he's letting me down. I feel
man,
it.
They said Jordan Clarkson too. They called him Jordan Clarkson.
Colin Sexton there, bro.
Jordan Clarkson.
Colin Sexton's pretty good, man. He plays hard. He's a good defender.
He plays hard.
Yeah.
He plays real
He
hard.
scored a lot of points last year per 75. If you go look, man.
Yeah, but it's also just him, Lauri Markkanen. I mean,
no doubt.
And Jordan Clarkson, and John Collins, and Kessler Walker. They got a lot of guys out.
Keontae George. They got some dudes.
Keontae George, that's the guy to watch out for.
He's going to be good.
He is.
Yeah, that's the guy to watch out for. Now, let's stop glazing on the teams real quick, though. We got really back to our team. I don't know. I think that really summed up what Kay's saying. I think that really summed up kind of the turn that Jalen's taken. I mean, it seems like that he's on the path. I'm not saying that he did a complete 360, but he did a 270 at least, right? I mean, from
he said 360. Season, you mean 180?
270. I said I swapped it. But like 180. You know what I'm saying? Like compared him to last year, right? At where he was at the first month after October. That was probably as low as it was going to get. And once we hit January, that was probably the lowest it was going to get, was January vibes, I think. That was tough. Jabari was having a bad stretch there. Tari had just gotten hurt. Şengün was like, he was carrying really hard. Fred was doing a lot. Dylan Brooks, I think in January was still pretty consistent with a lot of his things he was doing. And, we missed out on a lot of Jalen Green ball. Then once it got to mid-February, everything after that, it just turned and clicked. And I think it's continued this offseason. I think it's completely continued from the stuff he's done off the court. He's held a training camp. He did his own, his yearly training camp with the kids and whatnot. He's shown working out. But the thing that I like about it is I think this is different because he didn't just post a workout video and then that was it. He posted a workout picture, a partial workout video, and then an entire team training camp. I think that was important because if he would have never called the training camp, posted his own workout video, and that's all we'd seen from the season, we would have been repeating what we had seen the last couple of years. Because couple of years there wasn't.
Wait,
that's true.
Yeah.
You know what the difference is this year? In his workout photo, he looked homeless. He's really been working.
Yeah.
I'll say this though. Last year, Brandon Ingram looked homeless, and I thought that man was going to average like 27 a game, and he really disappointed me. I'm a huge Brandon Ingram fan, and I was expecting that man to come out and average 27 with Zion, and he in fact did disappoint me a little bit.
Zion has been looking good this offseason. Like, he's lost a lot of weight.
Man, they say he's 280. If that's 280, that man was for sure like 350.
No doubt. I was thinking the same thing, man. I was like, I thought he was 280 already.
Right.
Like, yeah.
That man was 350. That man could have been playing left tackle for the Texans or the Saints.
Could have.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah,
350.
so that's a lot of things kind of about the Jalen Green leadership. Does anyone have anything else kind of that they want to share about the leadership training camp?
From a leadership standpoint, we'll see how. I mean, this is a good little I guess start to gain to, not that he didn't already have his teammates' respect, but to gain his teammates' respect, add to it. Because we even had I like that we had Jay Sean Tatum and Aaron Holiday there too, so it wasn't just the young guys. So I don't think I saw Dylan or Fred there.
I don't think AJ Griffin was there either, was he?
I don't think AJ Griffin was there either. But
Hope he was in the gym.
Yeah. Hopefully,
They locked his ass in the gym.
Yeah.
Hopefully. But yeah,
Yo, AJ,
Oh,
go hit
bro.
this spot up. You and your coach for the whole summer.
right. Nah, but I think this is gonna be. I think we're gonna start to see some fruits bear from this. Probably not early in the season, but like middle of the season when the veterans are not playing because they get hurt. That's what they do. They're old.
Sure.
But we'll see. We'll see. Just build chemistry. He's doing what he's supposed to do. Like somebody who you would expect to be a franchise player, in 5 years, you expect him to be doing this stuff. It's kind of early for him to even do it. I don't know if any other young guy has done this in the league. I'm not sure if they have or they haven't, but this is a good sign.
Yes, yeah. It's a good sign nonetheless. Something I saw on Twitter, and again, it's okay. This isn't me saying it. I just want to rattle some chains here. People were saying that it was a last ditch effort by Jalen Green. That he's
I've seen that, but it's the same typical people who always got something to poo poo on. Like,
Yeah,
for sure.
I don't take that crowd serious. Anybody who just only on one side of the fence at all time that can't be objective at all, I can't take their opinion serious.
Even if that's true, isn't it better that he's making an effort? You know what I mean?
Right, because if he doesn't do it, we'll have a problem, right? Well, if he doesn't do it, we have a problem. If he doesn't go on that run post All-Star, if he doesn't go on that run post All-Star, if he doesn't do that, then they'll complain. Oh, he didn't do this, but he did it, and they still complain. So at that point, shut the hell up. I can't take you serious.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love the little AK rants, man. It's a
man. I just be saying what y'all be thinking, bro.
I'm not gonna hold
y'all be thinking the same thing.
He's not.
I just say it.
That lie.
He got that heart, I'll tell you.
Imagine you got a child and damn son, why you always come back with C's on your report card? He come back with A's. Oh, you only had these A's because I yelled at you last time. What kind of bullshit is that, bro?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. I'd hate to be a son to one of these idiots on Rocket's Twitter, bro. Like
one of these stupid mobsters they got out there, man. It's crazy.
Idiots.
Yeah.
I hope y'all watching too. I hope y'all see this. I want y'all to know, y'all IQ bring down property values wherever you live.
Oh man. So we talked about a lot about Jalen Green. So let's stick with that real quick. I want to talk about, obviously we've talked about like expectations and whatnot, about what they should do generally, right? But I think we should really hit home on what the expectation of them is this season from a front office standpoint, right? What they need to do to stay on the team. All right. So we're moving into our theme of the episode, consolidate or coexist, right? So let's do with the coexisting part first, because I think the consolidation areas might be a little bit easier. So let's talk about the coexisting together part first. If Jalen can hit XYZ expectations, which we will get into, what do you think that does for his role? Does he get paid more, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? So I want to start with our boy Ryan today. What is the front office's expectation of Jalen? What are your thoughts on what they need from him at minimum to, one, stay on the team, but two, what could he do to like if there's like tiers of like, okay, if you hit this benchmark, all right, you're going to get paid a little bit more. If you hit this benchmark, we're going to consider you our second best player, stuff like that.
Okay, so here's what I'll say. I'll say that B tier is playing how he played in March, but very inconsistently. Or I think A tier would be playing well consistently. Just let's say he's averaging 22 a night consistently on good shooting splits. S tier, which is very unlikely, would be consistent 25, 5, and 5.
Okay.
That's what I think. But I think it all goes back to consistency for him. I think what I want from him at that S tier is just to be consistent. Give us a consistent 22, 23 a night.
Okay.
It's maybe better on defense. Pick it up a little bit. It'd be nice to see him play a little bit better on ball defense. And also it'd be nice to see him be able to play off ball a little bit. Maybe if he could understand the game and how to play that a little more, that would be nice. But
I like that.
That's not unreasonable. And from a front office standpoint, that's your gradings, your CBA. Okay, I think those are fair and realistic changes. Now, say he does hit that A or S tier expectations, how does that change the view of the front office on Jalen Green? And do you think that's going to change his overall role
It depends when he does it throughout the season. If he starts playing at that S tier and then he plays like that throughout the season, I think he stays. If he falls back into that, if he starts with consistency and then falls back into that inconsistent pattern, I think his time with us might be over, and that's.
What's your timeline for that? Like, if he plays inconsistent for X amount of time, because every player's got the week or two, where they're kind of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think everybody has. Every player has a slump. Like Steph Curry went through a really bad shooting slump.
Yeah, it happens.
But I think with Jalen Green, just knowing his history, if he gives us a month and a half, or 2 months of inconsistency, no matter when it is in the season,
I think it's not. So
we know what a slump is. Once you establish what your baseline is, anything lower than that for a stretch, that's a slump.
Right.
So you're saying slump for a month and a half?
Yeah,
that ain't slump. A month and a half?
That's what I'm saying. If it's because, like I was saying, everyone has their slump, but if it's past slump and it's just straight inconsistent,
I mean, we've seen players like all-time greats, like even Russell Westbrook.
All-time greats is not Jalen Green
on our team. No, hang on, on our team, right? Russell Westbrook played bad for 3 weeks at a time, like bad for 3 weeks at a time. We've seen James Harden, my favorite player, play bad for a couple weeks at a time, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes they hit a slump, and then
here's the difference with them players that you just named, though.
Obviously, they're Hall of Famers. They have the resume.
They lived up to their name already.
Besides that, here's the difference. When them players was on the court, the team was still always better.
That's true.
But I'm gonna get into it when you get to me. We'll get into it.
For sure. And so that's just kind of so like you're saying,
Jalen Green has not proven himself, and he has a lot to prove.
For sure. Yep. 100%. I'm not. If it seemed like I was making the direct comparison between Jalen and the rest, no, I was just using the overall slumps as an example, not a direct comparison.
Exactly.
As a one-to-one.
I'm gonna add to that in a second.
It does go back to who they are as players, what they've proven, where they are in their career.
For sure. So you're thinking you're talking like through the in-season tournament, starting. I think for us it's the 15th, the 12th. I think it's the 15th. We play our first game against the Clippers, I believe. So say from like then on till December 20th, he's done.
Probably. I mean, I would say it's probably what's going to end up happening. Also, because that's the beginning of the season when he historically does start inconsistent.
Okay.
So
I mean that's not a terrible baseline. AK man, he got a lot to say, man. Go ahead, speak on it. Speak your truth.
All right. So to me, I'm not putting no cap on what he should look like, what numbers he should put up, and I don't get caught into too much of the numbers now. Here's where I want to see, or here's what I want to see. So, as I said before, the difference between Jalen Green and you mentioned Westbrook, you mentioned James Harden. When Westbrook or Harden was on the floor, the Rockets were better than when they was off the floor.
Nope, still
cannot say the same about Jalen Green right now. Yep. To me, that's what needs to change. Whatever the hell he's doing, however the hell he's shooting or whatever, when you are on the court, how are you impacting winning? Period. Point blank, period. I want the Rockets to be like, damn. Oh, not the Rockets. I want the teammates and fans to be like, damn, we really need to get him back in the game because the team was doing a whole lot better when he was in the game, regardless of whether he was struggling or not. To me, that's more important than any whatever the hell numbers he puts up. Because the numbers don't mean jack shit if we ain't winning. They don't mean shit.
That's true.
It just doesn't mean anything, bro. So to me, it's find a way to consistently make an impact on winning.
So
bottom line, be it defense, be it rebounding, be it playmaking, be it gravity, be it whatever the hell, off-ball movement, setting off-ball screens, just whatever it is. I want that on-off to look very different than it has looked.
So kind of like a la Fred VanVleet. No matter how bad he was shooting, that boy was on the court playing 900 minutes a night. That kind of expectation is kind of
impactful. Tari Eason, impactful.
Yeah.
I mean, not going to be Tari Eason impactful, but if you're going to be who you want to be in this league, which is a superstar, you're not a superstar if you don't do that.
It's a different type of impactful because I think Jalen Green's impact is obviously offensively, right? And Tari's is defensively. So it's
True,
definitely
true.
different.
But
impact.
guess what though?
Wise.
When he started that run on defense.
Jalen, yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
That run started on
he was
defense.
clamping up for a minute.
I mean, his confidence boosted up big time too.
I made a video about this, as a matter of fact. This whole thing started when he started picking up dudes full court, because that got him engaged mentally. And once y'all play basketball at some point in your life, when you're engaged, well, anything you do, when you engage mentally, you can make mistakes and you can recover from it like that. Like, it's not a problem. It's easy.
Yep.
But when he's not engaged at all like that, we've seen what that looks like.
Yeah, we saw for a couple months what that
Right.
looked like.
And I wouldn't say it was a whole couple months. I think that's kind of overblown. I just think that's an easy narrative.
Culmination of the last 3 years.
If you go and you look, even in those bad months, he had some big games in the bad months.
Yeah.
It's not even. And then it's really, he'll have like a bad week, then a good week, and a bad week, and a bad week, and a good week, and a bad week, and a good week, something like that. If you just go back and look at the numbers.
So the inconsistency is
it's the inconsistency. Yeah, but
man,
when he got consistent, it started with defensive engagement, and that trickled over to the offense.
It's all about, like, what does he do when he's not playing well to still help, right? Because I think most of the best players can answer that question. Like, you take Harden, even when Harden's having a bad game, he's got that gravity. It opens stuff up for the offense. Defenses know, he's cold, but we still have to, like, even double team him and stuff, right? And he's such a great passer that he'll make it work. But so when Jalen isn't playing well, I don't see what he does to compensate yet. I think defense is probably a good start, you know?
And then we got to see why he's not playing well. Sorry to cut you off, James. We got to see
that's
why
right, man. But yeah, like,
is he getting trapped? That's different. Yeah. That's impact. That's impact right there. If you're forcing double teams consistently, that's impact. You've done your job.
It's a question of whether he commands that gravity and like how soon teams start respecting him that way, right? Because there were times during that March run, man, no doubt he was getting the superstar treatment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were sending dudes at him at one time. I mean, again, just look at his best game of his career was definitely that OKC game.
Yeah,
he torched every single player the entire like when I think of like elite offensive, like could lead the scoring, I look back at that game. No question. He was
doing it on Lou Dort.
Yeah, Dort, man. He was good.
And Lou Dort was giving James Harden problems.
And Jalen Green, he just, I don't know what.
Flew past him every time.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I mean, there was that play he made him look silly on the 3-point perimeter, danced on him a little bit, hit that step back, and then when he brought him into the post and hit that crazy fadeaway, man, I don't know what Jalen was on, but that right there.
It's actually shocking that he didn't get drug tested after that performance.
Honestly,
because he's not still
NBA.
Yeah.
That was so crazy. Yeah, I think you guys are making fantastic points. And these are all completely valid. What it seems like the theme is gravity and what can he do when he's not playing well, like statistically speaking. What else can he do to make the team still be a winning, effective team while he's on the court? Now, last person we need to get to about this is AP, man. What are your thoughts? And I feel like these guys broke it down pretty well, so you're going to be thin in the herd here.
Oh, I know. It's basically just consistency, and the question is for Jalen, like, what does he want to do next year? Does he want to step up and possibly make the All-Star team next year, or reserve next year on the All-Stars, or what does he want to do to get to that point? And like you said, he wants to be at that star level, so teams can start fearing him when they come to play here in the Toyota Center.
For sure.
And even on the road, like, here comes Jalen Green. This man's been baller. And then the other guys are going to start filling out that impact, and we're going to win a lot more games. So for me, it's just consistency and see what he wants to do. If he wants to ball hard to make that All-Star reserve next year, this is your time to do it.
This is the time to do it. 100%. I mean, that's
or at least be in the conversation, because he can't pick himself, obviously.
That's true.
But just be in the conversation. Just be in the conversation.
Yeah, him and Sengun. I mean, can
I don't doubt that Sengun will be in the conversation at all. He's gonna be in the conversation.
Can you imagine if we are like come All-Star break, we're like the 6th seed, and our All-Stars are Jalen Green and Sengun? Do you know what that would do to me?
I'll be happy.
I mean, as
Both on their rookie deals.
Preston.
We don't even want to know. What would you say, Ron?
So what would that do to you, Preston?
You don't even want to know how that would make me feel. Y'all seen them honey packet videos, them blue chew packets, man? I would be off the wall if Jalen Green and Sengun come All-Star break are in the even if they're not like the top 10, if they're just in the conversation, both of them.
That's still good. For
I'm already seeing stars.
Preston gonna be making a Jergens lotion commercial.
Yeah, I think I need to up your at back, boy. I'd be going crazy. I won't even lie. I won't even hold you. But it all depends on what's going on with the consistency and whatnot, and expectations set. But I will be insufferable on Twitter, 100%. I will
Massively.
If Jalen Green is doing 60% of March, I will be insufferable on Twitter.
Preston, I can't. I wouldn't.
My bookmarks.
I couldn't imagine what your Twitter would look like, knowing what it looks like now, bro.
Oh yeah. Well,
here's the thing: if he has to duplicate March for us to be good, then there's a problem somewhere.
I said 60%.
Okay. So but that's what I'm saying. That's why 60% is a good number. If he has to duplicate what he did, then somebody else is not pulling their weight, or somebody is hurt. Like there's a problem somewhere. Like you cannot have to do that shit.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
100%. So if Jalen Green is and I feel like the general expectation is, even if we're getting 60% March Jalen Green, the expectation of what Jalen Green should be this season, it seems like we're going to be firmly in the play-in, if not like that 8+ tier, right? 8, 7, 6 within that range, just based on how volatile the Suns are. They're looking like they are ready to pop. Like a teenager getting ready to pop that first pimple. I mean, it's like right there, man. That blister right there is ready to go. And then you're also looking at the Lakers, just like every season, it's always a question with Lakers. And it's not like anything against LeBron, right? It's not at this point. It's just, can AD stay healthy? If he's healthy, Lakers are really good.
I think it is because of LeBron.
He averaged 27 last year.
Think about all the star players. Or not star players, but good players in free agency this year that had the opportunity to go to the Lakers and play with LeBron that just didn't. I think LeBron is a problem because I don't think players want to play with LeBron.
I was about to go there. Like,
there's
something to that.
Is it not wanting to play LeBron, or is it like not?
It's not wanting to play with LeBron.
It's not wanting to be the blame. Look how, bruh. I want y'all to see what Westbrook, the way that he was treated. I
remember.
Come on, dog.
They called that man a
Nobody
vampire.
wants to be like that. Nobody wants to be the
LeBron
blame.
runs the whole team. He runs the media. He runs the
And then
team.
he did good on the Clippers.
He runs the money. He runs everything NBA organizationally wise.
Yeah, that whole Clutch Sports thing, that whole Clutch Sports angle, the fact that they got people in media, being represented.
That is kind of like,
to me that's a lot of conflict of interest to me, and I think that's what kind of clouds a lot of the judgment on some of these guys, because you can tell, like, when you can just tell how some of these guys talk. You can tell who they got relationships with, because you can tell sometimes they'll even say, I got a good relationship with this person, I really like this guy. I can't really say. You can tell, man, like, man, just keep it a buck. Or unless you're gonna get punished for keeping it a buck. That's where it's a problem. Conflict of interest, man. I don't like that.
It is interesting to kind of bring that up. So again, so Suns, looking at the Lakers in that aspect, another team that I think is going to be kind of volatile. Obviously, we're looking at the Warriors, right? That's going to be a team that's like, we have no clue what they're going to end up looking like this year. They lost Chris Paul, who wasn't like great. He helped us end the Warriors.
He was also hurt half the season.
And he was hurt for quite a lot of the season. And they also lost Klay Thompson, who, again, yes, he went 0-10, but he was still a fairly pivotal part, and just for all intents and purposes, for real, for all intents and purposes, Klay was still generally an important piece of the Warriors, regardless of how he played.
Rocket killer.
It was still,
Rocket killer,
AK. That's what I said yesterday. I said that he's finally gone.
But now he's with the Mavs. Now we got to play them 4 times a season.
Yeah, now we have to play Tim Hardaway Jr. and Klay Thompson.
Nah, Tim Hardaway Jr. got moved. Again. No, he got moved.
He went to the Pistons.
He went to the Pistons.
Yeah, he got traded.
That's right. He was in that Quentin Grimes.
But now we have to face the Pistons.
But here's the thing, though. They're not gonna get away with all them illegal screens in Dallas. Yeah. That's a Warriors thing. They pay off the referees in the NBA and let them do that. I don't think Mark Cuban and them gonna do all that.
AK might be speaking back there, but
Damn, we could actually lose to the Pistons now that they have THJ.
I want you to
God
retract that
damn it,
statement
man.
right
You're
now.
right.
They got Steven Silas over there. You think we worried about Tim Hardaway Jr.?
I don't think he's still on the
I'm
staff.
not worried about that.
I don't think he's still on the staff.
He is
I'm
on
pretty sure
staff.
he is. I
is?
thought, yeah, I thought he still was because like he was supposed to be their interim head coach. Then they brought somebody else in, and he was still on the staff.
Because
I didn't
they
see
know.
that they let him go.
Preston, what does AD say?
Oh yeah. Hang on, I got to pull it up, guys. I got a new thing for y'all.
Hashtag
He
piss
gone!
people off 2024.
He gone.
Nah, but they got
Silas
JG Biggerstaff as their
on the
coach. He's a
staff,
good
by the way.
coach.
Yeah, JG, he's solid. But anyway, so we talking about Warriors, Lakers, Suns, and then other teams in the West that like are going to be interesting. I don't like I said on the pod yesterday for the HM Rundown. I don't think that the Spurs are going to necessarily be like highly competitive, but like I think they're going to get a couple more wins than they did last year. Just having Chris Paul, I think that does add. I mean, we've seen every team he's gone to, every single team besides the Warriors. Thank the Lord, he has increased their winning percentage by a lot. And I'm not saying he's going to a lot with this team specifically, but I think they're going to sneak a couple wins. You know, I think that's fair. We're getting year 2 Wemby. As much as I hate that man, he is pretty good. He is pretty good. Being a rookie, averaging 23 and 11 and leading the league in blocks is quite 2K like. That's pretty crazy.
He averaged 23 and 11.
Yeah, 23 and like 10, something like that. Yeah.
My prediction for Wemby before the season started was 25 and 10. So it's pretty close.
Yeah.
Incredible. Anyway, pretty incredible. And then obviously you got Utah, who's got a lot of guys out there, right? You got Kessler Edwards or Kessler Walker. Thank you, Kessler Walker. Fantastic center, by the way. You still got Larry Markkinen, who dropped 49 on us a couple years ago. Did everything we could to get
Under Silas, by the way.
Yeah, under Smiley. And then who else they got out there? John Collins. You know who
Colin
they traded
Sexton.
for? Colin Sexton, Jordan Clarkson.
You
Keontae George. He's a mum fan. Keontae George. They got a few pieces out there. You know, depending on like what they're doing, like they could be solid. They can. You know, I think they won 30 something last year. You know. And that's with them not necessarily tanking, but like not trying to be good either. You know what I mean? They remain fairly competitive despite what the win ratio says, I think. In the East, I think they're making the play-in without a doubt. But that's just a couple teams that I think we need to win against, obviously. But is there any other team in the West that we think might be within that 7 to 10 range, you know, that are really fighting? Am I missing anybody? I think
Kings.
Pelicans.
Oh, you're right. Gosh, damn it. Except they got DeMar DeRozan over there, who we absolutely embarrassed after he tried to.
He doesn't scare me.
Yeah,
No, the only reason he scares me is because I feel fearful that he can injure Jalen Green on purpose.
And Dylan Brooks can injure him on purpose.
Gonna be there.
And Dylan Brooks can injure him on purpose.
Yeah, bro.
I'm legit fearful of it now.
I think I don't know.
It was pretty aggressive, man.
It's pretty aggressive.
And he got the nerve to be mad at Dylan Brooks for running up on him from behind. The hell
y'all see his that podcast thing he dropped in his interview?
No.
He was on some interview talking about exactly what K's saying. He said, "Yeah, I don't know why DB ran up on me like that."
Bro, he either stupid or dumb talking like that, bro. You that unaware, bro?
They call him the Frozen for a reason. He don't know what's going on defense.
Man, the stupid. The idiot. Come on, dog.
I'm not gonna clown on DeMar, man. He a legend, but like he do.
Yeah, I like him.
He
But
guys
that right there, man, man up and say, man, I lost it. I lost my cool.
Yeah.
You sitting there getting mad at the dude's teammate that ran up on you from behind after you people's elbowed the shit out of him. Come on, dog.
Bro, it's crazy that he was getting pressed because Jalen Green was just flaming him.
He was.
Jalen Green has been doing that to a few people, by the way. Like he just be dicking them down so bad, and like, all right, bro, like we finna do something else to you. We gotta.
Wasn't it first Bradley Beal?
It was first as Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
It was a few other people. The Bradley Beal one was when it started.
But I will say, when the Rockets have beef with the team, it's good for us because that's the type of coach that Ime Udoka is. Ime Udoka wants us to beat these teams that we have bad blood with.
I don't blame him. I mean, like I said on the pod yesterday, name a coach that has talked to LeBron like that.
They don't because they scared.
Everybody's scared
One of my favorite
except
moments of the season.
Udoka, bro.
Yeah.
They called that man on national TV.
Soft ass.
To LeBron's face. He solved
Oh
that.
man,
Yeah.
my favorite. That is one of my favorite moments in Rockets
Yeah, it's a
history.
great
I'm
quote.
sorry.
Oh,
If
yeah.
I was a senior in high school, so if this was 2 years ago, that would have been my senior quote.
100%. Yeah. 100%. 100%. That was an absolutely legendary
That's
moment. And I
funny.
think it was a great culmination of the things that were coming together and really embodied Houston Rockets kind of like that dog mentality that we were getting, right? Like AK was saying earlier, this is coming back to it now. You know, the Udoka's, I almost said Udoka's mentality, right? Dylan Brooks' ferocity, Fred VanVleet's ability to just win all the time. It
Jalen
was
Green's
really
watch
like
on.
just like yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like it just like everything started to meld together in that moment, and from on, you know, we were
Coexisting.
teams, and yes, and absolutely embarrassing teams. Now, my thing with this is like, you know, we talked a lot about Jalen Green, right? We talked about a lot of what our expectations are for him, what he needs to do. But we should probably talk about the rest of the core, right? Let's just get a general question out the way. And I'm not saying this to be funny. I'm just being honest here. AJ Griffin, is he part of the core going?
No.
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 That was
No.
fast, but no thought. Okay, right. Okay. Now, like, because we saw him in summer league, right? And he was looking pretty rough. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I think he's coming off of I don't know how long he was injured, but he did get injured. He tore something. But he was playing for Atlanta, which is one of the reasons why we were able to get him for so cheap. He had one season that was pretty solid, which is his rookie year. He shot fantastic, shot the lights out. He was everything that he was, you know, supposed to be in that lottery pick. Then I think it was last year, because this is his third season, correct?
Fourth.
Yeah.
Fourth
Third or
season.
fourth.
No, this will be his
Fourth
third year, man.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, third. It is his
I
third.
was
I'm
gonna say.
tripping.
So he was off and on and out of the lineup and whatnot last year with the Hawks, and I believe he got injured at one point of the season. That was pretty bad. I don't want to say so. Like, he's coming off of the injury, right? And, you know, in perspective,
And he had a personal issue too.
yes,
He took a personal leave.
Yep. And we saw what Jock Landale looked like when he was coming off injury, right? And like, watch out, Ryan. Be careful there.
Ryan about to
breathe.
Oh.
Okay, let me get out what I gotta say. Okay.
That boy turning red.
I thought AJ Griffin. I think what he did in the summer league. I think he just did a lot of dribbling too much. I think when he was
for sure.
spot up at the 3-point line, he was knocking down a lot of threes in the summer league. I think if he didn't do all that dribbling so much, I think his confidence would have built up.
He definitely was trying to overplay his hand, right?
Think,
he was trying to show off
so.
the skill set that he has, but like I
Jock
think
Landale in March.
my thing that I'm getting to is
Man.
that I think if you're coming off injury and personal issue that was so prevalent that you got to leave work, right? I mean, we all know what it's like to have something going on in our lifetime where we have to miss work. Because gosh forbid we miss a day of work and our check's like $900 short. You know what I mean? We cannot miss a day of work at all for anything as grown men in today's society. But I mean, you know, sometimes when you gotta leave, and it's pretty serious. So taking that into account with this boy AJ Griffin, right? No, I'm not saying that it is whatever, but he ended up taking leave of absence, right? He was injured and whatnot. Coming back from that, he's probably, I don't know, like what his I don't know if he's 90%, 100%, whatever. But regardless of what percentage he's at, health wise and mentally, it's still going to take a minute to reacclimate, right? Like, we don't even know when he started coming back into the league, like thinking that he was fit, you know, with getting traded and all that and the talks, and then they traded him and pick somebody that starts in his spot, essentially. You know what I mean? For that previous team. I mean, I would imagine if I got traded and then they pick somebody to start in my spot. If I was a person, you know, like if I'm working and they say, hey man, I need you to go work for this other company, and then they pick someone else to be in my spot as a starter for that team, whatnot, I feel some type of way about it. I won't even lie.
It's sort of a KPJ situation.
Yes, exactly that. You know,
Right.
my confidence I'd feel some type of way about that. I won't lie to you, you know. So in the summer league, like I said, I think he was overplaying his hand. I think he was trying to show off the skill set he
Trying to make up for the
did
time
too
he
much. Yes. So in comparison with Jock Landale, right? The beginning, when he first come back from injury, we saw how, for lack of a better word, atrocious he was. Right? We can say like like that was like, you know what I mean? That was just not fantastic. The jock strap was not strapping very well. Then once he started playing better, and I would say as early as February, like mid-February, along with Jalen Green, once he hit that and he was healthy for the rest of the season, he was consistent and did exactly what we asked of. He got the rebounds. He played solid defense. He was even hitting a couple threes here or there, on the jock special. So I think it might be the same path with AJ, but in terms of him being part of the core, like we said, I think that's a firm no, right? He hasn't proved himself, but two, I mean, we would just what for a 44th pick, if you can get someone who has lottery pick potential, I mean, you do that deal every day. It don't matter what they look like. You know what I mean? You do that deal every single day. But at the same time, I mean, AJ, we'll see. We've got this year and then next year for his contract, I believe, because this team option this year that we picked up for traded for, and then we got team option next year. I believe that's how that works. So we'll see what happens. But everyone is a firm no on AJ being core.
Absolutely
Yep.
not.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
He can change that if he want, but
For sure.
luck. Like,
So
uphill
in order
battle.
for AJ,
I don't think he can change it no matter what. I think our core is already too deep as it is for us to be able to get him playing too many minutes.
people get hurt, things happen.
Well, man,
Yeah.
on
That's why we have Aaron
that,
Holiday.
like Preston, you were saying about how we drafted Reed Shepard, who pretty much plays his position. Shit, man, think about how Jalen Green might feel, right? And this is to me why consolidation is going to be inevitable, because we got like 3 off guards and 2 point guards and 6 wings. You know what I mean? Like, and we still have more picks coming in. Like it's not sustainable. A core 7 isn't really a thing. You know what I mean? And now we're talking about AJ. We should pick for a core 8. We got 2 picks next year. We're talking about a core 10. You know what I mean? At some point, something's gonna have to give, right? You need a core like 2 or 3, really. So yeah.
I mean, but there's different tiers to it. There's max guys, you got high level starters, you got high level role players, and you got supporting cast, and then you got trash cans.
Yeah. And
we don't have no trash cans on that core 7.
Hey, oh no, not on the.
Core 7, he said.
No opinions to myself.
He said core 7. Anyway, now the thing with that, AK, that I do want to agree is obviously like at some point, like James and AK are saying, we'll have to consolidate at some point, but we got tiers, right? And kind of like what Chris Gorman was saying on the pod, and the last time we had him on the Rockets round robin, was that with the new CBA, it's promoting teams to pay their guys in-house, right? There's more room for the apron and whatnot. Now, I'm not an expert on this, so I have absolutely no clue what that's going to look like. But at some point, the well does run dry. The money does run out. And you don't want to spend all your money on 3 guys, 4 guys. You know what I mean? Because we've seen what that looks like for every single team. Look at the Suns. Look at the Lakers. You know what I mean? Look what the Lakers tried to do with Russ while he was over there. Again, love Russ. No disrespect to Russ, but $44 million and 2 other guys making $50 million. Like, what's the roster looking like? I have no clue, honestly, how the Sixers were able to pay Paul George a max contract, because Tyrese got paid. Joel Embiid's making 50-something a year. And then you've got a bunch of other guys that are making a lot of money, and then you look at the Boston Celtics, who somehow have 5 guys making $30+ million.
Yeah, Celtics will trade somebody.
They have to. That's just not sustainable. And even if it is for a season, we pay our guys and everything like that for one good season. That's great. But now we're inviting change, and someone's gonna have to go. And then the entire season, everyone's fighting for a spot. And if you end up getting traded, it's not like, man, shucks, I was the one left out. No, it's like, F this team, man. I worked my butt off to stay here, and you thought I was the one that had to go, because you in the NBA, you got an ego. Like you have an ego,
of course.
Respectfully, you know what I mean. If I was in the NBA, I'd have an ego. I talk so much now. If I was upper middle class, if I was rich, I'd be going crazy. But we get humbled. But I do.
You're rich by Iowa standards, though.
I am not. I am not, in fact. I wish I was, but just in general, like it's something to think about. And if we're gonna go through these changes and whatnot, everyone's gonna be able to get paid. And I mean, AJ probably not gonna be a part of that. Like you said, it does apply pressure to Jalen Green. I think we've really hit home on that, or at least I'd love to talk about is how that affects Jalen Green picking Reed, right? You've got a Ben Thompson, whether or not he can be a point guard or not, that remains to be seen. But even if he can, you got Cam and you got Tari that can play the 2. They can also play the 3. And you have Jalen who's played the 1, 2, and the 3. That's depth right there as it is. You already have Fred VanVleet, and although he's not here for the future, he's here Shepherd right now. And yeah, you got Shepard. You still have Dylan Brooks right now. And then for the 4 spot, you got Cam, Tari, Jabari, and whoever else you want to play there, in this given moment. The only place we don't have a true, now we do with Steven Adams, but beforehand, it was just Şengün, and then it was like, okay, go get him, Jeff Green.
Okay, I want to go ahead and ask a question. Just speaking about Dillon Brooks, right? Towards the middle of the season, or maybe at the end of next season, right? Depending on how good we are, would y'all go ahead and trade Dillon Brooks for just cash or some picks just to clear up minutes?
Yeah. Yes. I think Brooks is the only bad contract on our books, to be honest, man.
I don't think the contract is that bad.
Is it even?
It's not that. It's not that bad.
Yes. Yeah.
I think it's the only negative value contract that we have.
And I wouldn't even say it's a negative contract either, because once that salary cap go up, that contract gonna look sweet for a contender.
Bro, look how much what's his name? OG Anunoby just got paid. That man can't stay on the court for anything.
Bro, that's a bad contract.
That's a bad.
That man getting paid like an all NBA player.
$212 million for role player.
Who's Zion?
No. OG Anunoby got paid $212 million. That is ridiculous.
But same with Zion. Zion also signed a huge contract, and he can't stay on the floor.
Yeah, but when he's on the court.
but he's Zion.
When he's on the floor,
he is a force of nature.
Okay,
I don't care how much jambalaya.
When OG is on the floor, he's insane defensively.
Oh, let's talk about that.
True, but that's just defensively.
The Knicks are a team that just has a bunch of role players that know how to play their roles.
Role players don't need to be getting 209.
Look, I think the contract is a bit absurd, but he knows how to play his role, and that's what the Knicks do.
I love OG. I just think it's a bit, maybe a bit I don't want to commit that much money to a 3-and-D, man, because you could you can get 75% of the production at less than 75% of the cost. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a surplus of those dudes.
You can get that at 10% of the cost.
You could have gone and gave that contract to some other fool and signed him and traded him away for anybody else.
I think they're going to end up. I think they're going to do something with Julius Randle though.
OG alongside McCall Bridges is scary. I'm not going to lie. OG and McCall, that's a good duo to be on the court together.
You said OG win? What?
OG and McCall Bridges on the court together is deadly for any offense, for any play.
That is a hilarious statement. That is an asinine statement. I apologize. Look,
OG and McCall are both great at defense.
Hey, we can
I saw
an
what he did
NBA
on the
round robin right quick if y'all want to go at it.
The last time that Mikal Bridges was great on defense was when he played for the Suns, when he was a role player putting up the 14 points a game. Yes. When you ask him to put up be a true two-way player, he is very, you know what I'm saying? He can score, but his defense falls off.
He's still good.
Yeah. I mean, he's almost an all-star, but I mean, you're putting almost an all-star,
on the Knicks with a bunch of almost all-stars who are all
regular.
Really good.
The only other all-star over there is Jalen Brunson. Julius Randle can't stay on the court. Okay. You tell me who's they sent? Mitchell Robinson? He's a good defender, but he's no Garrett Allen.
And Mitchell Robinson can't stay healthy either.
He did. Yeah, he can't stay.
And again, you tell me you paired up 3 people can't stay on the court together: Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, right, and OG Anunoby. You're paying them all a combined of over the course of those years.
The contracts are bad.
$350 million to play 45 games.
Right.
LOL. That's why Jalen Brunson. I'm not gonna lie. Jalen Brunson got lucky that he did last season to make it to the conference finals over any of those other teams because everyone else was hurt. That is incredible. And I respect Jalen Brunson. Respect Jalen Brunson. Phenomenal what he's doing over there. Absolutely love that. But
and he left $113 million on the table too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
See, that's a leader thing right there. That's a leader thing right there. But I don't know. At the same time, OG $212 million. You know what I mean?
Maybe he left that money on the table because he knew how bad OG's contract was.
There's a lot of interesting debates to have about that, man. I heard people saying it sets a bad precedent for other players in the league. Now other dudes are gonna feel pressure to do that. He's taking money out of people's pockets, and I've heard other people say "Yo, I mean, he wants to win. This is a measure to win." I lean towards power to him. I think it's a positive thing, but I can see
you as a player,
it's
noble. Noble.
It's noble, but that's a choice.
Yeah,
that's not the standard. That's an anomaly.
Yes.
These dudes trying to get paid. That
And
ain't
so
our
good.
problem if you
Good.
can't pay me. Somebody else gonna do it. As you can
This
see.
is all because Rudy Gobert got paid that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rudy Gobert is somebody I would consider. I mean, technically, I guess he is an all-star, but he's more like
Well, he's not
high
defensive.
level starter, like highest level starter without being like a superstar. Because you could be an all-star without being a superstar, obviously.
Rudy Gobert is not
high
all
level
that.
starter. High level starter, that's a tier in its own. That's max money, but I don't know if I do like 5-year max money on a guy like
No,
Rudy
Rudy Gobert
That's-
is an
that's
A-tier
different.
starter.
I think when they
Especially Cat
signed
and
him,
Anthony Edwards.
when Utah signed him at first, I don't think that's a bad deal. I really don't, because you got at the time
For
you got
Utah, yeah.
yeah, like at the time you got undoubtedly the best defender in the league, right? Like at that time, that was for sure. I mean, he was so good, he shut down the entire league for a year.
And you can still make
Like,
the
that was
argument that
crazy.
he's still that.
Yeah, no, yes, I'm not at all saying, but like we're not extending him 5 years, 200 something million.
So
You know what I mean?
we can, if y'all want, let's use Minnesota as a template, right? Let's check this out.
Okay.
So the top 4 paid athletes are Cat, Gobert, and Jaden McDaniels.
And he's
Cat,
not even on a max.
this coming season, we're gonna go. This coming season, Cat making 49, Gobert at 43. Next season, he has a player option for 46. And Edwards is beginning that max contract. He's at 42. Jaden McDaniels is at 23. So if you look at our makeup right now, let's look at that. Cat, he's not a superstar, super high level starter, all-star player. He's an all-star player, right?
He's a superstar.
Max money, yeah, but you don't have to be a superstar. And Edwards is their superstar, but whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you got 3 all-stars, right? Making 40 plus, one of them damn near 50. And then you got a very high level role player, 3-and-D guy, Jaden McDaniels. That really is the formula right there.
Yep.
It's gonna be it, and that's best case scenario, by the way. Like that's not a guarantee, because we may end up with just two of these guys. But Şengün, we can say, is a guy who's going. He's. I don't even think, even if he comes back as the same guy as he was last season, he's getting maxed. I don't even question that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He's getting maxed.
Yeah.
He's getting 5-year max. As a matter of fact, he's gonna
Definitely.
get 5 years.
rookie supermax.
Jalen, let's say best case scenario, he's gonna be him and Şengün gonna be both max players. All right, that leaves 2 more guys who are gonna come up for contract soon. One of them is Jabari, another one is Tari. Are those gonna be our 4 guys moving into the future? Because we still have a man, Cam, and Reed.
Nope.
How do we want to do that? How is that gonna look? How is that gonna work? And remember, Fred VanVleet's contract is a team option for next year. So this year he can be used as an expiring deal. Somebody can, let's say, for example, Reed Shepherd comes out and he's like, all right, we got to do something because we need to get him on the court more. Or Jalen Green is showing that he can be that lead guard. Or Amen Thompson is showing that he can be a lead playmaker. That makes Fred VanVleet expendable. We can use his contract and do something. I don't know what. We could do something because he could be used as expiring for another team. Or we can just, I guess, use his team option not against him, but we can.
I did some math real quick.
We could terminate his contract and then sign him to a longer term, lesser money. Dylan Brooks is going to get traded next year. I don't think he plays another season with the Rockets because if Tari Eason is healthy and all that, he's expendable. Super, super duper expendable. I love Dylan. He's one of my favorite Rockets, but let's be real here. He ain't going to be for that stretch run. For that
AK, I got some
run.
numbers. I got some numbers here for you. If you're interested.
What's up?
So while you're doing this, you're breaking down the money scales, right? I was looking to see the extension, the supermax that Alperen Şengün is available for. As of July 2nd, there was a report from Hoops Hype that came out that Jalen Green is also eligible for the 5-year supermax of $224.2 million. So that comes out to $44.84 million
If
on
they
a
make all
rookie
NBA,
scale
right?
contract. No. They're eligible
for the
it
five.
right
For
now.
the 5-year rookie max. Yeah, but if you make All NBA, that thing looks.
That's
different.
even more. Yeah, that's
it's
even more.
money.
Yeah. I don't know how much more. I think it's an extra 30. I think that's what that comes out to. My math could be wrong. But right now, Şengün will round up, right? Say he makes that supermax. It's 45 out of the gate, right? For like the next season, he's making 45, right? Likely, like you said, Fred probably not here. Dylan likely not here, right? That's probably what it's going to be. Jalen probably not making that. I'd say his contract's probably going to be more like 170. I think that's more within the range for like a 4 or 5 year. But I don't think he's getting the 5-year 224. But like to appease him, I think we'll pay him a smidgen more than we should, because I think 150 is I think 5 years 150. I think that's a fair contract for what he's done the last 3 seasons. And then based on what he does this season, 150 is the baseline, and then up from there, of course, up to I think 170, 180. People can disagree with me. That's totally fine. But that's I think money wise, that's what makes sense. Now you get into the question of what kind of money is Jabari going to ask for? Because let's be honest, Tari, he's not going to make the max money.
Neither is Jabari.
Jabari's
Unless
not
he
either.
breaks out like a.
Unless
If
he
he
breaks
break
out
out this
right?
season, like I think.
So then
we gonna have some problems.
So then my next question is, what's a reasonable price for Jabari and Tari separately?
Tari. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I want Tari
because you look at Jay McDaniels who's making, you said what, 22?
23.
23. Okay, so you look at Jay McDaniels for 23. I think that's a baseline contract for what Tari and Jabari will both be asking for. Correct? Rough, like within that realm of 23.
Within that realm, yeah.
Yeah.
But Jabari gonna get more than that.
I would say that McDaniels has been better than either of them so far, to be honest. He's one of the best 3-and-Ds in the league.
Yep.
But I think there's some questions about Bari as to, like, can this dude create offense for himself and stuff? And if he starts to show he can do that type of stuff in his 3rd year, he's in a different conversation of player altogether, you know? So, like it's a big year for Bari, in my opinion, man. I kind of see a big coming as well. But we need to know if he's a role player or if he's a star player. Right.
And if he's a role player, that's fine. You could be a high level role player. That's fine. But I'm saying he's gonna get more than Jay McDaniels because of when his contract will come up. Yeah, it's just
for sure
on in the game.
For sure.
These guys are just gonna be making more and more and more money.
100%. Now, with that being said, we've only talked about 4 guys.
And then there's Nas Reed there too, by the way. Sorry. Nas Reed making 13 this year, 15 player option.
And Nas Reed underpaid.
I think he forgoes that. He's gonna get him. Somebody gonna pay him some big money.
Yeah. Nas Reed is way underpaid.
Yeah, he ain't taking that. Yeah, he ain't taking that. And we wanted to get him too. Rockets tried to get him.
So that leads me to the next thing is so we've talked about 4 players so far, in Şengün, Jalen, and then Tari and Bari. Now it comes down to Reed, Cam, and the men. And again,
it's so far down the line though that you
well, that's not really that's 2, what is it, 2.5, 3 years
you got
now?
2 of them coming off their rookie season, and one of them ain't dribbled the ball yet.
So which comes up to my question of because this is all early, right? These are all early predictions. None of this is set, right? It's not likely that all these guys are going to get paid, because I look at Cam and I don't see that man taking less than a certain amount, no matter what, even if he is, say, performing at a level that's a little bit under what he thinks he deserves. I look at Cam and I think he wants the money. He looks like a guy that's gonna just go wherever the money is. Loyalty, of course, I think within reason. But I think if I don't know, I don't want to say a team and it be asinine, you know what I mean? But I think if a certain middle ground team is like, hey, we'll pay you 50, he's like, okay, he going right over there no matter what. No questions, right? And I don't think Houston matches a 50. You know what I mean? And then again, that's just hypothetical, right? But out of everyone that has to get paid, we've only talked about 4 guys. Yes, that's further down the line. Yes, we'll have to see what the cap opens up and looks like. But we got to think about the entire roster construction of this. And there's a lot of pieces that go into that, which is absolutely insane. This is what gives me respect for the Rockets front office here, that they're managing as well as they are right now. But AK, I kind of want to go back to what you and Ryan were saying before with DB and Dylan. Is this their last season?
DB and Dylan. I didn't know it was 2 of them.
I mean, DB and Fred. My goodness, I was man. What am I doing?
We got 2 Dylan Brooks. Damn.
Yeah, bro.
That's crazy. Somebody gonna fight.
But yeah. Fred
Dylan.
VanVleet and DB. Is this their last season equally, or do you think it depends?
It's possible. I'm gonna let you shoot, Ryan.
All right. Well, I think that this is probably almost for sure DB's last season. I think there's a chance that we end up keeping Fred just for the leadership aspect of it, because I don't think at the start of next year we will completely be ready as a team to move forward without any big veterans. So I think there's a chance that we keep Fred, but again, it's not for sure.
So Fred has a team option next summer, right? I think
He's got 2 months. So that's why I say he can be used as an expiring deal.
Yeah, but we could also exercise that option and try to negotiate something fairer long term. You know,
and we can spread it out.
25 million, something like that.
I don't want to make him. I don't want to keep him.
I feel you, but as to what you
I know why you don't want to keep
about keeping him for the leadership, and so you think we would just probably not use the option and just pay him 40 mil for 1 more season?
Yeah, I think that's what we should do.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
They could do that and then trade him that same trade deadline. They could still do that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's great that we have him, and I want to see our core play together without having any big veterans on the team. That's why.
Well, yes, and I think in a lot of things, I think the issue is not necessarily that we'll be ready without a veteran, but Fred VanVleet's leadership is literally unmatched.
That's why I said that we should keep him and then see how we go as a team.
And he has to create his replacement.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the thing I like with James is Fred can still slot and play on the bench. Like he doesn't necessarily have to be a starter. If we're comfortable with someone else starting in that point guard role at some point, whoever becomes that guy, like, can you imagine sending Fred off the bench with likely Tari Eason and Cam Whitmore?
Well,
as you'll
see, by the time we get to that point, somebody else is not going to be on this team, because I'm not 100%. Paying Fred no 40 nothing to come off the bench.
Which is again why I'm using James' example of, you could decline the player option and renegotiate an entire new contract and spread it out between. You could do. I mean, like, I think 25 might be a little much. Never like that.
By the time that we're ready to do something like that, Dylan would have to be gone. That's one. And if Dylan is gone, who starts? Amen or Torrey? One of them is going to be starting.
Amen.
And at that time, has Cam shown that he one of them ones? And if he has, but if at the same time Jalen has also shown that he is one of them ones, what do? Somebody got to go.
Which is what leads us down to the path of consolidation.
Yeah.
And
look at that segue. You like that segue? You like that?
Yeah. And my issue is, I don't know if getting rid of Fred VanVleet is necessarily the right move, because there's a lot of player skill sets. I mean, like, I'm using Reed as the example here because he's the youngest, right? And he's he's just youngest. We know the least amount about him. Like, if the issue is like, well, we don't want to let Reed go because he's a shooter, there's a million shooters in the league. There's a million shooters in the league. Obviously, not like everyone's different. Everyone's got their own thing. Again, I'm not saying that the Reed doesn't have the potential, but like at the end of the day, like, if I'm choosing, like, if I right now today, if they're like, hey, it's Reed or Fred, obviously today I'm picking Fred.
Well, I think it matters who we get back for Fred.
And so you would use him and how many elite ball handlers, and leadership guys are out there in the point guard role exist? Because you're looking at
the point guard role.
It's got to be the point guard role.
Why?
Point guard role is the most important position in the league.
Why? So,
and they don't have to be a starter. They don't have to be a starter per se.
Right, they don't have to be a starter. But if you're telling me Reed Shepherd is going to hit, Fred can go.
I don't know, but we don't know if he's going to hit.
Right? Yeah, we don't know that. We're going off of what we know right now. But best case, I'm just thinking best case scenario.
A lot of wishing.
If Reed is hitting, Fred can be moved for somebody very valuable or something valuable. Like, we can get a
For sure.
Maybe a couple of expiring contracts and some good draft picks.
Yeah.
We still got Phoenix by the balls right now. We
Yeah,
may throw him in a deal.
We do.
We may throw him in a deal with them Suns picks to make money work for something or someone.
That's
Which would mean that somebody else in the core, likely somebody who's about to get paid, Cam, it could be a deal where it's Fred and Cam, and we getting off a couple of them Suns picks for somebody else that would make sense, and that's going to come in and start and be very impactful and complement Jalen and Şengün and
totally could.
And who knows? It could be something like that, man. So I just want everybody to just don't get too comfortable with none of these young guys.
Totally could. My issue with the thing is I don't like, and it's no disrespect to Reed, right? Like I look at a point guard, and maybe this is the old head of me talking. Maybe this is my receding hairline coming in early. I look at the point guard position, and I don't think the shooting. I don't give about the scoring as a point guard. I give about your ability to distribute efficiently, be able to guard your man effectively, and be a point guard. I need you to go out there, dictate the offense. I need you to go out there and do X, Y, and Z, right? I look at Reed, and yes, he's got like the playmaking flashes right now, but I don't see him as a true one right now, right? He's kind of that I want to say like combo guard 2 role, the undersized 2, just based on the shooting and the scoring ability. And we saw him play fantastic defense. And I'm not saying that he couldn't pass the ball. He made some fantastic passes,
He did.
But just because you can pass the ball, don't mean you can dictate an entire offense, right? I mean, like that, like passing doesn't mean you're a point guard, because if that's the case, then Joel Embiid a point guard, because I've seen that man get 9, 10, 11, 12 assists before in a game. You know what I mean?
Draymond Green's a point guard then.
Well, that's a conversation for a different time. I'll have that with you at some point. But
I honestly feel comfortable if he had to run the point for some games. I feel comfortable with it now.
Right now, Reed running point guard, I'm not a fan of that. I would rather Jalen run the point than Reed right now. If it came down to it, but like at the same time, again, Jalen's a tertiary playmaker. He's not a point guard, and that's what I'm coming down to is like you want a guy that can go out there and dictate your offense. Again, more like the example of Chris Paul.
Let's not forget about Şengün. Not that he's running point, but you need somebody to run an offense.
Yep,
Şengün can run it. You got to get the ball to him to be able to run it.
You got to get the ball to him, right? And as we've seen, it does work. You get if Reed is out there, you likely have a 5-out offense or 4-out offense.
Man, that's going to be
in the middle,
disgusting.
And that totally will be. Absolutely will be disgusting, but it comes down to the shooting aspect. And, we've seen how inconsistent some of our players could be. And I'm not wanting to some, you know what I mean? And I'm not, I don't know. Maybe I feel different about it. I just right now in this point in time, I'm not necessarily low on Reed. I am high. I'm just trying to be realistic here.
Yeah, being reasonable. Yeah.
And because we saw a man, right? A high IQ basketball player, absolutely phenomenal. Beginning of the season, when he played his first few games after injury, he could not run an offense at all. That was some interesting basketball played from Amen Thompson, and not bad. Just rookie offense. That's just what it was.
And exploited for not being able to shoot because they weren't doing that to him in OTE.
Yeah, they definitely were. And then in the late season, we saw a lot more of those playmaking duties be established upon him. But he was playing the 3, he was playing the 4 when he was doing those playmaking duties. His best time when he was the point guard was the last game of the season, right? When he had that triple double, it was like 18-point triple double or something like that. Like that was nice. And I'm not saying that's my expectation for him, but like the 6, like to be a point guard, I think you minimum as a rookie, like if you're starting getting the minutes and all that, like you need to average at least 6.5 assists a game. You know what I mean? And again, I'm not saying that Amen was. Oh, well, see you later.
What is Dante coming right now?
Yeah, bro. Now I'm not saying that Amen needed to average 6 assists a game, but like when he was starting, he was averaging 3.5, 4. I was expecting, the 6.5, right? Especially when he was completely in control of the offense, or like the per 36 numbers, right? And I'm not saying that Amen can't do that. He definitely can. I think there was a lot of things, and he had a lot of different roles he played. Just finding his role in general as a rookie is really tough. And I think the point guard position is probably the hardest position to play in the entire league. Being able to
probably it is.
to have to run an entire offense like that and be able to do everything, and
Getting hit by picks from 300-pound monsters.
Yeah.
You got to defend these 6'6", 40-inch vertical fast dudes. That man, playing point guard is not for the weak, boy.
No, it is not. So, and that just kind of leads me back to just the, my little tangent there, but it just leads me back to like Reed and like what is he going to be able to do? Because again, we saw what we did in summer league, phenomenal, like great, and like yes, like we don't really care about. It's not saying that he's going to be an all-star coming out summer league. I mean, I watched Anthony Bennett in summer league go crazy, and where's that man now? You know what I mean? Like
Anthony Bennett.
I see him at the rec down here. You know what I mean? Like it's just like it's like that's just how it goes. So we'll see what he looks like. But I do hold Reed in high regard. I want to temper my expectations, and I think we should keep Fred as long as we possibly can. Like as long as we possibly can. That is what I want to do.
He gonna have to take less money at some point then.
100%.
Honestly, because the market is gonna tell us what we need to do anyway.
For sure.
Because if everybody has a point guard and we have his replacement ready to go, and he go out on that market and he think he gonna get some money, he gonna come back like, hey man, hey big head. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you still up? You know what I mean?
Right.
Now, my other thing with that is like with the organization, I think Fred's already got a championship, right? That's the thing. He's already got a chip. He's made all-star selection,
And now he's making big money.
He's making really good, like fantastic money.
But let's not forget who his agent is.
Who is
matters? Rich Paul.
Oh, he's a clutch sports guy.
Let's not forget, you got to treat him right no matter what happens. That throws a big monkey wrench in it, dog.
I didn't even I didn't even realize that.
You treat one of them clutch people bad. See how many of them clutch. Half the league is clutch players. See how many of them clutch players want to come to your team. They'll still come, but you ain't gonna get the good ones.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. And you're gonna be paying the same price for it too.
Yep.
Clutch
get their players paid, boy. Yes, they do.
I wonder how that works.
That's the LeBron James effect.
It is a LeBron James
effect.
Yeah.
Whether he's in the league or not.
That's
gonna.
How do clutch sports players affect LeBron's legacy?
Hey, at this point, we want to start asking that question.
Boy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting things to think about here, payment wise. I think I did a lot of talking there, so I'm gonna stop talking for a little bit there. AP, man, give us your thoughts. Fred VanVleet, all that jazz, and then like, what are some other things that players are gonna have to do to prevent this consolidation move?
I think you do keep Fred at least one more year. If say like Jalen doesn't hit that peak like we want him, at least you have the insurance backup. And then you still have that veteran for Reed, too, for his rookie year and all that. But I wouldn't move Fred unless I know for sure Jalen's ready to take those keys and lead this team. I mean, that's just me.
I wouldn't say Jalen's production would affect Fred one way or the other. As far as keeping him out, I wouldn't say that. I'd say Fred's situation is just its own unique thing. It's since he's got on this team option for next season. Next season, 2025, 26. I think it's more important to see what Reed Shepherd looks like if we want to get rid of him early. If we want to get rid of Fred early, I think that's more important. Or Amen Thompson, because Amen Thompson could still end up being the point guard anyway. If one of them two guys show that they are somebody who we feel comfortable with moving forward and running the team, running the offense, then hey, let's ride. Let's find a nice little spot for Fred. We gotta be nice to him because he's a clutch sports guy. Gotta be nice to him. Let's send him to a contender or something like that in the East because we're not sending him nowhere west. And then we can kind of figure it out from there, man. But I don't think Fred and Jalen are I don't think they're going to affect each other too much, to be honest. I think that's more Amen and Reed Shepherd. I really hope that it's more Amen because that Amen's ceiling is just
so high.
Crazy high.
Yeah.
Imagine how high his ceiling would be if he gets a jump shot too.
And it doesn't even got to be like an off the dribble jump shot. If he can just spot up in the corner and shoot a 3 at a good, decent rate, but that takes the top off of what he can do, to be honest. Because now you can really play him at the point full time. Ain't got to worry about too much the defense sagging off of him, using his man as a help defender or guarding him with a center. Now imagine we playing the Wolves. We got a man who can't shoot. You could just have Gobert just roaming and blowing up everything. Hell no.
And he can just dunk on Gobert because Gobert just lets people dunk on him.
Gobert is a very interesting guy. For somebody who's won so many defensive player of the year, no one's afraid of him. He doesn't strike fear in anyone's heart.
Do y'all remember 2019 Rudy Gobert? 2018, 2019 on that Utah team? Everyone was turning away from that man. I don't know if y'all remember these
19, 20.
Yeah,
18,
19.
18, 19.
Yeah, when Utah was like a top 4 team, back when they were good.
Man, the Rockets used to power drive them.
Oh yeah, we used to.
Rudy Gobert is
he's
the Maginot Line of the NBA. He's just like what's it called? He's there to be for. Well, what's the word? Oh, my brain just messed up.
Yeah. Well,
he's there to scare people, but it doesn't work.
I think
he's the Maginot Line of the NBA, the wall that France built.
I think him being in the league for so long, it's easier to figure out a defense than it is to figure out someone's offense. And if your whole defensive
you can add to your offense, you can't add to your defense.
Yeah, you can't. You just can't add to your defensive game necessarily. Like you can add little things here or there, but there just comes to a point where you just can't do anything.
You can be smarter about it, but
yeah. The rest of defense is more I want to say IQ based, and your body versus offense is skill based. Obviously your talent, your personal talent will take you so far. But I mean, again, I always look at Kobe for offense. He wasn't even starting on his team, and then he became a top 5 all-time scorer. His first 2 years, he didn't even start. So that says all I need to know right there.
Yeah, you can't just wake up one day and be able to switch on screens all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And that ain't something you learn. Say that you can do it or you can't.
You can or you can't.
You can get better at it, but you don't just become.
And Rudy used to be able to. Back in Utah, man.
Back in France.
Back in Utah, the only person that really torched him on the perimeter was Harden. Harden and Curry. That was kind of
torched everyone.
Exactly my point. So that's why it's
Nah, I think you talking about France. He can keep up with them little French guards.
He was okay. He was decent enough on the perimeter where his length, where he could step back, he could have a distance between them and still be able to contest the shot, which at the time players, I'm not saying feared, but were wary of. They understood the connection and the defensive prowess there. But now, I mean, the average person is shooting 2.5 steps back further.
But the NBA is different now. Back then, the Rockets laid the blueprint, so he wasn't getting exposed like that.
Yes.
But when the Rockets laid out their blueprint, everybody was like, oh, that's how we get him off the floor.
That's
this is what we're going to do.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Keep him on the floor, or y'all going to have to start praying.
Do y'all remember James Harden when he dunked on Rudy Gobert?
My favorite James Harden dunk was on Draymond Green.
Draymond Green, baby.
There'll never be another dunk that I would like more.
Not what was it? Matt Bonner one?
Matt Bonner.
Or was it he dunked on some Spurs center way back when? 2014, I think.
Hold
on, I'm looking it up.
I forgot the dude's name. I know who you're talking about. James Harden got some posters. I still hate that fat
sneaky athletic.
I still hate him though.
Hold on, I'm looking for it.
Why are you looking for that? Let's talk about Jabari a little bit, man. I feel like y'all don't be wanting to talk about Jabari like I be wanting to talk about Jabari. I don't like that. I just want y'all to know.
Oh man, do I have an opinion on Jabari?
Yeah,
don't
Ryan,
make me teleport over there. I better like Ryan, your opinion.
No, you will not, AK. You will not. You'll have to check out. Ryan will say his opinion on here because I'm gonna make him. But also, when you go to if anyone watches the episode, man, go check out TownRundown episode last week. About halfway through, Ryan has one of the most intense takes about Jabari Smith Jr. I flamed him on the pod for it. It was, AK, I think you about to lose the rest of your hair when he says what you gonna say.
Damn.
So
He did
you
me
see
like
how
that on
Preston
live, bro. Damn,
Okay, no,
dog.
hear
He
me out,
did me like that on live.
Hear me out.
I can't
Hear me out.
even.
Hear me out. So
I'm gonna hear you out, bro.
You see how Preston just advertised for our show yesterday because of my take? It's about views and marketing. It works. So I said yesterday on the show that Jabari Smith Jr. would be a great trade piece. But you see how it works?
Should I leave now, AK, while you flame him? Should I just leave now? Is this like...
You see how it works for views?
I want to hear the whole thing, bro, because if it's a disrespectful trade, then all right. Dude.
No, he doesn't even have a trade package. You just
I don't have a trade package.
He's a valuable trade piece.
I can agree with that because he's like one of the most malleable players that you can have. Like he can play several
He
different
can do
positions.
everything.
He can
I don't want to trade
several
him.
positions. He can shoot it.
He's baby
he can
Durant.
fit. He can literally fit in any team in any construct possible. He just can.
But the
Exactly.
fact that we're talking
I
about
agree.
trading him randomly,
Not right, and that's why. But that's why I don't want to trade him.
I don't want to trade
That's
him
why
either.
That's why I want to keep him because, as a matter of fact, I think he probably gonna get a lot more backup center minutes this season.
Interesting.
Than he did before Şengün went down last season because he showed. Look at the spacing that was on the floor when Jabari was at the 5. Why do you think it was so easy for Jalen to just get downhill whenever the hell he wanted?
Because he had that 5-out offense, but
you know what I'm saying? Like this, and not that he
a lot
wasn't
of
already
those center
doing it. He was
minutes
doing
were
it.
not good though. We had Jeff Green having to go play backup center because Jabari was getting beat up
right
for rebounds.
But I think we found a formula that works, and Jabari has actually he looked like he got a little bigger. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see what that looks
but
like.
we got Steven Adams too coming up.
Yeah, we got. I don't think Steven Adams is gonna play every game.
No.
Oh, no, not every game.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna play every game. And also, I
don't
think people are talking about this enough. I don't know how much I want to see Steven Adams on the floor at the same time with Amen Thompson. I don't know how much I want to see that.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. No,
I agree. As much hold on, wait. Let me land. As much as in theory you want him to set them nice screens for Amen Thompson to get downhill. Why would we even why would a defense switch that screen? Like, why would they even do anything when neither one of them is going to be able to shoot outside of 15 feet?
To be fair.
For what? You just zone that up and you're good. Just play a zone. If they're both on the court at the same time, just play a zone.
You could play zone. Steven Adams, we'll have to see what he looks like. I think that's really going to depend on his speed. If he could be not quick, but, like Steven Adams speedy, you know what I mean? Not a quick man, but he's got that quick first step sometimes. He got a little bit of speed to him.
Man, I don't know how much that's going to work
if
his age past 30, coming off these foot injuries.
Yep. So that's why I'm agreeing with you that I don't know how much fun that's going to be. I think, like you said, in theory, it could be really fun.
In theory, because people looking at the Westbrook years, that was prime Steven Adams. This ain't prime Steven Adams and Amen is not Westbrook.
This is like 4 or 5 years. 5 years past his prime, like not past prime, but like 5 years post that. And
really 5 years.
What I would say is when Şengün goes to the bench, I think Steven Adams is going to be a really good screen setter for Jalen Green and Reed Shepherd.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I want to see Steven Adams play mostly with. I don't know if I want to see him too much with Amen Thompson.
Yeah.
That's me though.
That's not good.
Maybe I sound crazy.
No.
Maybe Ime Udoka can figure out a way.
I like it in theory, but I guess when you put it that way, it's different.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this ain't 2K.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Like people actually make adjustments, like schematic adjustments, not player adjustments. 2K, you bench who you don't like.
Yep. 100%.
The new 2K sucks.
And I ain't played 2K in like 15 years, and I already know.
I got 2K17 for free at GameStop the other day.
Who did you feel?
What?
Who you got dirt on where they just giving you free games?
They just gave it to me for free because no one's
Nah,
buying
you got,
2K17
nah, you
anymore.
got a,
Well, no,
you got a
hold
dirty
on.
sex tape on somebody. That's what it is.
Hold on. Sometimes GameStop will give away a free game or so if you're buying a game there. While you're
Right? No,
purchasing.
I bought 2K20 for $1, and then they said, "Yeah, here's 2K17."
That makes sense.
Damn, they couldn't sell it for 50 cents.
Nobody playing 2K17.
Yeah, like for what?
But
Last month?
2K17 is one of the best ones.
Why? What make, bruh? The
Why
reason I don't even
25?
play sports games no more because
Coming
it's just
soon,
to me it's just updated rosters every season. Man, who
Yeah.
cares?
New
got tired of
animations, but it's I don't know,
New animation. Who
2K17
cares?
is-
Does the
Are
ball
they
go in
new
the hoop?
animations?
Like, does the ball go in
Sometimes.
the hoop or not?
Preston, you're a 2K guy. What do you think the best 2K is?
I've only been playing 2K since 2K19.
You haven't played
And-
any of the other ones? Just had
No.
them to play them or
I
try them?
can't. I'm a graphics guy. I can't play anything before a certain time because the graphics just look too terrible and nothing's
So you
online
can't play
anymore. They
nothing
shut
on
off.
Yeah,
PlayStation.
that's yeah.
Yeah,
but
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 on
one
PlayStation
2K was
1.
live. That one was live.
Yeah, and like the other they shut the servers down for the previous 2K every 2 years. So 2K23 servers go down in January. When 2K25
Damn, already
comes
that's
out.
crazy.
Every 2 years they shut the servers down. Yeah, so
2K20 is
turned
probably the
into-
most fun one. 2K17 and 20 are my top two.
So let's get back to it right here before we end off. We always get sidetracked, man, about something.
Well,
so-
last time we got sidetracked about Hawk Tua in AK's
Oh
Infinite
god.
Threat Tattoo.
What I do? I forgot what I did. I'm always doing something.
Remember
I
we were
don't know.
talking about the throat tattoos and your Infinite tattoo?
I don't even remember that. Was I drunk when I was in? Maybe I was
you
drunk.
were
I
definitely
don't know.
drinking last time, but
Was?
we don't condone that on YouTube here. It was what Cash Nasty used to say. It's sweet tea, cool. It's no YouTube video. Some of y'all will get that. But
Greatest
you know,
YouTuber of all time. Him and
now
Flight.
Chris
between
Smooth
this
is definitely the top.
Yeah.
for sure. Now between the consolidation and coexisting move, my question is before we end off here, what's the most likely thing that's going to happen? Now by consolidation and coexisting, by coexisting, I mean not that everyone's malleable and doing everything like that, but we only get rid of one player and everybody else works, right? Core 6, whatever, right? And by that I mean, you know, just one player's got to go. Now by consolidating, I mean like 3 players go. You know what I mean? So what is more likely? Ryan, I want to start with you. This is a hot take here. End it off on a little something. Since you like trading players anyway.
Oh Lord. I think it's gonna end up being coexisting just for the fact that we're still building our chemistry as a team.
Interesting.
I don't think it's gonna be consolidation yet.
Oh,
think-
you mean you
I
talking
think-
about just this season or
No,
Just this
I'm
season.
talking like I'm talking.
Oh,
no,
I'm talking just
you
this
talking about when we
I'm
become
talking
contenders?
4 years from now.
Oh,
Oh, 4
consolidation.
years
from now.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. Ain't no
Yeah.
coexisting. I'm trying to get paid. The hell?
Yeah, no, I'm talking
Agreed.
about right now. I thought we were talking about like this season.
So before we go, I want your hot take, Ryan. I'm gonna force you to say something before we go. Who
My
is
hot take-
leaving?
Who's leaving?
Who's
Who's
leaving in this consolidation move? Now, you don't have to say who they're getting traded for or anything like that. You know, you can leave it open-ended. But who are your 3 most likely players to leave? I think
Jalen
we all got.
one.
Wow, I didn't think you were going to say Jalen. Okay.
We're keeping it realistic, right? Not what we want.
Yep.
I think Jalen is going to be one. It's hard. I think Cam could potentially be one as much as I like Cam.
Yep.
Because off the court, apparently his attitude just isn't so great, even though he's a great player.
Really? It's not? That's
No.
news to me. Interesting.
Oh well.
I-
Okay.
I-
Something's after. Okay, never mind. We'll
That
talk
don't
about
sound
that
right.
another time.
That don't sound right. But
Interesting.
Yeah, I guess I shouldn't have. I know things that people don't know. We'll leave it at that.
Okay.
And then that's why Cam Whitmore was in the G League for half the season last season, because his attitude was really poor.
Interesting.
But he played really good though. Every
plays
time he
very
came in
good,
the game,
but that's
though,
why
I
he
don't
was
think
in
the G League.
he played that bad at all.
And
last
then
year.
another thing is another player I think would go. I mean, I don't know. It's hard.
It's okay. You can say it. Look at him. He's fighting
Like,
over there.
hesitating.
No, I'm just trying to think. I don't know.
Jalen, Cam, Amen.
No,
Those are my
I was not going to say man.
Those are my three.
I was going to say Jabari.
Okay, that's fair.
Mm.
Okay. I want to end on AK. So AP, what you got? Because that man is stewing over there.
Let's see. Dylan Brooks is gonna be gone.
We're talking about the core.
Core.
Core. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
That's gonna be too easy.
Oh, that's tough. I don't know. I'd have to probably say Jalen, depending on the next couple of years go.
For sure.
I love Cam, but I would have to put him in there too, and I love Cam Whitmore.
Yeah.
And third, I'd have to say Tari, but I love that man too much too. Oh, see, this is why this is hard for me. Because I like Tyrese, and I love every time he comes in the game, he brings that spark and energy. And I think if he stays healthy through the whole year, I think that bench unit is just solid all the time.
100%. But Tari being as valuable as he is for the team, kind of like what Ryan is saying, is a possibility that,
Jabari's gone.
it could be.
Oh,
All right, AK.
Cam is gone.
Yep.
That I can tell you.
Yep.
What they doing right now with him, they're gonna get his stock up as much as possible. Then right before he hits restricted free agency, they're gonna move him for somebody else who's gonna fit the team construct moving forward. I can tell you that right now. So, not that I don't like him. Y'all know I love Cam, bro. I made a whole video on my YouTube channel, Rockets Propaganda. Holla at me. Showing all of Cam Whitmore's dunks for the whole season. So literally all his dunks in the video. It was like a 7-minute video. I love Cam, but if we keep him to the buck, he's gonna be gone because right now he's really just bucket or not. Outside of getting buckets, not really a whole lot that we can really speak to.
He can get some rebounds.
He can. He better be at his size. He should be able to grab some boards.
I do like how aggressive he is, though.
Yeah. I like his aggression. I like his. I like that he can shoot, but his shot selection needs help. If you look at the whole core, he has the lowest basketball IQ. And I think that would be the reason why he'd be gone. Because I think we're prioritizing high IQ guys. So the next guy, man, the rest of the six though, boy, this is tough. This is really tough.
It's okay, AK.
I think
your opinion is safe. The Rockets fan base might go for you though.
I think that this would be a really horrible idea. But trading Tari Eason, I don't think would be good. But I think if they do it, it'll be because of maybe he can't stay healthy, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the only thing. So he'd be the second guy.
Hey, Mama Eason, watch out.
Love you, Mama.
This is just hypothetical.
I don't want that.
Mama Eason, I do not condone what AK is saying.
You said what?
I said I don't condone what you're saying about your.
I don't condone what I'm saying either, but I'm just saying. I don't condone
everyone's saying their piece right now before we get blasted.
Yeah, I don't condone that myself. But I'm just saying, like, if I'm management, I'm just looking at reasons. You got to start nitpicking.
Yep.
That would be a nitpick for me, because how much do you want to commit to a guy that you're not sure can stay healthy? Now, Tari Eason was healthy all his rookie season, and last year just kind of seemed like an anomaly. Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see how they go. But I'm just freestyling right now because this is very tough. Because if we got to keep forward, and a tough decision has to be made. Boy,
surprised you haven't said Jalen.
Yeah, I was about to say that too.
The reason I'm not gonna say Jalen, I'm just spoiler. I'm not saying Jalen because that month that he had, as much as it was just a month, we've seen what his top end looks like. His top end looked like a top 5 player.
Yep.
Nobody else's top end on this team, on this core, has looked like a top 5 player. None of them. Even Sengun. Sengun has not looked like a top 5 player.
Was looking really, really good. You don't think
he's looking really good, but top 5 player?
You like
at his peak? Was his peak top 5? Absolutely not.
We haven't seen
Jalen Green literally was the best player in the NBA for a month. Literally.
Well, that's true.
Literally.
He was like a top 2 player in the NBA. Like
he was literally the best player in the league for a whole month.
He was putting like 35.
No one else on this team has done that. So yeah, somebody gonna call me a Jalen Green stan or whatever. He's not even my favorite Rocket. My favorite Rocket is Jabari. So
oh wow.
I've made this known. Like I make this very known.
Jalen, baby, we for it.
Well, I think that Jabari's a great trade piece.
And I agree, but that's why I would keep him because he's harder to duplicate.
So your last guy,
you can more duplicate. It's easier to replicate what Tari Eason does than say Jabari Smith.
That's not a crazy take.
It's easy. It's easy. And same thing with Cam for the most part too. So you have to see where I'm going. Boy, I know I'm probably gonna get murdered for this.
Yep. It's over.
I don't want this to be the case, bro.
Don't say it.
That's not who y'all think. It's not who y'all think. Amen Thompson might be the last.
Oh, I said Amen. Okay,
you said Amen.
I'm not worried about it.
And the only reason I'm saying that is, as good as he is everywhere else, that one weakness he has,
it's a big weakness.
Glaring that if he never improves upon it, you can more easily find a guy to replace his skill set.
If he was 6'11", we would be having a completely different conversation.
So pretty much, I'm looking at
6'7".
So if you look at how I really ironed this whole thing out, I'm looking at everybody's floors and whose skill sets is more easily replaceable, and it's them 3 really. Reed Shepard's shooting is elite. Sengun is he get on that low block, and you just got to start reading Bible scriptures.
Pray he misses. Yep.
Jabari can be a matchup nightmare at his size and his versatility. We've seen Jalen's top end. I don't even have to go there. If them was the 4, I'm good with that.
You said Jalen, Jabari, Sengun, and who? Oh, Reed?
Reed Shepard.
Reed.
Yeah, that's a good 4.
That's
I'm
a
not
nice
gonna lie.
4, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. He's not wrong. That's pretty good.
But what about if it was like Amen, Jalen, Reed Shepard, Sengun?
You got 2 non-shooters. That's your issue right there. In your starting lineup every day, you send out 2 non-shooters. And like the Russell Westbrook comparisons are real. Even though Russ could hit the occasional 3, right? Like once he after like 20,
occasional 3.
And it also depends on what the occasion is.
Yes.
Is he just trying to, spam to get 10 points so he can get his triple-double?
Yeah.
Or is he trying to miss on purpose because he know he's going to miss it so he can get the rebound and get a triple-double? Like, what is it, bro?
Like, and I'm talking like post 2016, right? Like the jumper started just a little bit incrementally and then terribly so after he left Houston. It's just, it only works so well to a degree. I'm I got them the 7th seed, the 8th seed. They made the playoffs, but you get in full road in the first round because they just exploit your weakness. It's one thing to make the playoffs and be ready for weakness. Because what the weakness that Golden State used to beat the Celtics was Jalen Brown's left. That's literally that was literally the largest thing that everyone complained about. Not that Jason Tatum had the most turnovers ever in a single postseason run. Everyone clowned Brown for not being able to go left.
And now he's been practicing underwater.
And now and he was the best player in their finals run.
And now he's making diss tracks on KPJ.
I think you just can't run in today's league. You can't run 2 non-shooters in a starting lineup and be expected to go anything further than the first round. I just don't think it's possible. You have to. I'm not saying you need to be a knockdown, but you got to be able to keep the defense honest. So that's my thoughts on it. That sounds like that's it though. That's really it. There was a lot we got to talk about today, man. 2 hours was what we were shooting for.
Man,
appreciate having everybody.
The four.
Wait,
four
what
players,
happened with
man.
Dante?
Dante never showed up.
Well, really, Preston.
Yep. I just wanted to let you know in case you missed it.
Yeah, no, I missed it all.
Okay, yeah. I know that goes over your head a little bit, but
Sometimes.
yeah.
That boy Ryan be tripping, dog.
Anyway, this is a fantastic episode. AP man, where can we plug you in at? Where you at?
Find us here on Clutch City Connect. Me and my boy Tyler, who unfortunately couldn't be here, but I know he's been going through a lot of stuff. So make sure y'all follow us both on Clutch City Connect and both our IGs and on Twitter.
Right on, man. Right on. AAP, man. We appreciate you coming on for the show. Again, this is a fantastic Rockets round robin. We did get away from ourselves. We got to work on being more consistent, don't we, guys? Talk about Jalen Green being consistent. Hey, Ryan, man, where can we find you on social media?
Y'all already know where to find me. Y'all can find me at Ryan Diamond 15 on Instagram, at Ryan Diamond 15 on Twitter. You can find me on Rockets on Sports Illustrated. You can find me here on Rockets Round Robin, and then you can find both me and Preston on the H-Town Rundown.
Yes, sir.
Friday at 4.
Yes, sir. Every Friday at 4. Except next week, we're going to get on with our boy Frank the Tank from X. He's going to be on at 5:30 with us. It's going to be super exciting.
And next week, sadly, I will not be on.
Yeah. Hey, AK, man, where can we find you, brother?
Man, y'all can find me on Twitter at AKinfinity_VVS. You can also find me at the Rockets Propaganda channel on YouTube. Rockets Propaganda NBA. Search it up. We got some hot content on there. Got some more stuff coming this coming week too. I also do the Shooting the Ish podcast. I might have a special guest or two in the next month leading up to training camp.
Look at that, man. AK got his own stuff going on, man. They own plug and all like that. Yes, sir, man. Go check that out, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. This is the Rockets Round Robin. Be sure to follow this account on Instagram at Rockets Round Robin. Be sure to follow all of us as well. And be sure to follow the at H-Town Rundown, Houston Rockets Basketball Podcast for everything Houston Rockets related. And be sure to follow me, your host, at Drip2Bs_GAWD on X as well as Instagram. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see y'all next time.